There we go. We are live. I have got Jeff Witty here, illustrator of Dark Space, and other stuff, of course. How you doing, Jeff?
I'm doing fantastic. Being
Fantastic.
very busy.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, we're going to talk about that, and then we've got another guy that's also very busy, and
Mhm.
he's about to show up in just a second. I see him down below. I add him to the scene thusly, and it's Matt D'Amico. How's it going, Matt?
All right,
Hey, how are you?
Matt.
Good, good. Let's see. We got crowd applause, Matt.
Why did my mic sitting weird?
You all right? Do we like it like
Yeah.
that? Do we like it like this? I don't know. I think I like it like that.
I kind of like it like this.
Yeah.
But that's
Yeah. I've got
your show, Brandon.
yeah. I've got I got some other people that's gonna show up.
Oh, cool.
Somebody new too, so we have to make sure we give them some good time.
Absolutely.
It's a guy who did a game that I did a video on. So I'm excited to see him on. I've been communicating with him. He's got a new product too. Of course, Matt's got something going on. Jeff's got something going on. We've all got stuff going on. So what's going on, Matt?
We funded yesterday. So X Crawl Rodeo funded yesterday. We are
I'm just gonna do a bunch of clapping today.
yeah.
Tonight, just yeah.
We're $57 away from our first stretch goal. So that's pretty awesome.
Yeah, that's great.
So Jim Myers is up on deck. After we hit that stretch goal, you're up on deck.
Yeah.
So it'll be it's going to be fun. We've got some great stretch goals. We've got a fill the box tier that I think is just great. And basically, the more stretch goals we get, that box gets filled up. And we've got everything from. I just decided, like, you know what, the heck with it. We're going to just put together stuff. Like I think when you have your first one, you're just so worried about funding, and now I'm just like, F it, I'm gonna just have fun.
Right.
I'm like, what do I want to play with, and what do I want to have?
Yeah.
And so I really had a lot of fun. Like, so Joey, obviously, Bert, and I were just back and forth, like, what are we going to do? And so I'm like, oh, we want to do bottle caps, and so first I was going to do like just poker chips, but then David actually said, I've been doing bottle caps and people seem to like them. And I'm like, that would be cool. And it's just different.
Yeah, it's
And
different.
then I think the argument back and forth would be, do we want to do a Mithril Spur beer, which is something you can buy in the stands? It's a sponsor. Or do we want to do Cranky Clydesdale and rodeo? So that was one of the things we were doing. I wanted to do not the big buckles that everybody can get as one of our last stretch goals that you can wear, but I wanted some little like awards that, like, because it's always cool to give players awards at the table,
Sure.
like, because you're always chasing the whole expression with rodeos, you're chasing buckles. So Ian Rucker, who did this for me for with mail,
Yeah. That's good.
yeah, super good. And that's not the finished one. Actually, the finished one, the one that we're going to do when we do this Kickstarter or back kit, anyway, actually looks better. He's even added more to it. It looks really cool. He also did Dungeon Dining Creatures stuff, so it was super cool. And then
great.
So yeah, I just had a lot of fun, like saying, okay, what would I want, and what stretch goals, and he's going to bring it up anyway. So Matt, how are you?
Fantastic. How are y'all?
Good.
Good, bud.
And
so anyway, we're moving around. We're shifting around, moving around. There we go.
Yes. So I got to keep up
Hollywood Squares.
Yep. Yeah. One of the things that I've got great people around me that have great ideas. And then when we were in, I'm going to give him his props right now. When we were in LongCon, we were talking about, okay, how can we make this better? And we were supposed to launch the day after we get back, but we just weren't ready. We were just like, okay, I'm still trying to nail down what I wanted to give out as stretch, like what do we want to do for stretch goals and different authors. And then it all came together. And you were part of that, Brendan. It just all came together kind of in the last 24 to 48 hours. Like, oh, there you go. Okay.
It's been exciting, right?
Yeah. And it was fun because I'm like, okay, this is what I want to launch, not scrambling to get things done. So it was a week delayed. And then we had that stupid cloud I don't know. You
Yeah.
probably know more about it than I do.
Cloudflare, is that what it's called?
Yeah, just took out.
Oh.
So yeah, just took out a bunch of the crowdfunding
Yeah,
websites, and
you were like, "We're having problems," and I was like, "Yeah, it's probably that Cloudflare thing that's got everybody down." But
yeah,
just so we could recap here. Matt showed up. We've got him, and y'all have met Jeff. Everybody has, right? Matt, have
Hey,
you?
Jeff.
Yeah, you were here.
Hey, Matt.
We've already done a good bit of these, and I can't remember who jumped in and jumped out.
Yep.
So I may be
Yeah,
like,
Jeff
"You,
was
have
here
you?"
last time when I was here.
Yeah, he's got a bunch of stuff on the walls there. I like that, the Conan and stuff like that. I've thought about putting comics up on. I put some more stuff up here, as you can see.
No, Jeff, did you
Yeah.
draw? Did you draw for any of those comics, or you draw for all those comics?
I did for Identity Stunt. I've done a lot for RPGs. I've done a little bit for Transformers Collectors Club.
Oh, cool.
So
Yeah,
Very cool.
dude, you're just slaying it. I love some of the stuff you're putting out for Dark Space. It just looks freaking phenomenal.
thank you.
Cyborg Dino with the evil.
Oh,
mask
yeah, that
running.
one, yeah.
I was like, hell yeah! I'm just like,
That's
yeah,
the design for Raymond Lilliard. So he did that one. So I was inking the Centaur right now, actually,
okay,
for the show.
yeah.
That's great.
You saw that.
And yeah, you honestly, most of the stuff you've been putting up, I've been really enjoyed. So,
Well,
yeah.
this is great. We got 3 guys here that are all involved in something going on. Kickstarter, of course. So Matt's got his X Crawl. Jeff's got Dark Space. He's doing art for. I've actually been approached by the creator of Dark Space to help promote it in some way. I have not gotten back. I've got back with him. Just said, yeah, we can do something.
Yeah, they're killing it right now. But it's a good game too. I got to play it again at LongCon. So I got to Ramsey Williams was running it, and he ran a fabulous game. So
Cool.
I had talked about that before. I think it is a good game system, and I think it gives you more than what like just running your run of the mill Star Trek or Star Wars, which you could adapt to run under it. But I think it's a really cool. Obviously it's Shadow Dark, but
Yeah.
I played Spaceballs versus the what's the Seth MacFarlane
The
Star Trek spinoff, or
we talked about the other.
Yeah, so I played
the Orville. The Orville. Yeah.
Orville versus Spaceballs was phenomenal. Yeah, so we had a great time, and we used that game engine, and honestly, it was just great. So I'm not surprised they're doing well at all. I think they deserve it, and I'm excited to see what they do next. And they've got obviously great art, and so
yeah, it's gonna be cool. I'm gonna I'll probably do something. I don't know if I'll do an interview or I'll just tell people about it or whatever. I don't know. They reached out to me and said, hey, very kind of professional, like however you can to help promote it. I don't know, Jeff, did you mention me or something to the channel with the channel or anything?
Yeah, I may have.
Okay, well, that's cool. I appreciate
It's always
that.
good to, some ideas would be like, hey, you got to get with Brandon. So
Yeah,
this is exactly, right up the alley. So
right. Yeah, that's definitely cool. And then Matt,
it was good.
What's going on with your stuff, Matt?
Matt Gullett or Matt D'Amico?
Yeah, definitely you. Yeah, all you.
Yeah. So real quick, because you mentioned Ramsey, and Ramsey's a local, and he's great. He's a big Shadow Dark guy, big proponent. He put out at LongCon Hack Dark.
Yeah,
and that's his own product.
Yeah.
It's a tight little product. It's great for when you've made that. You just roll that awful character, and you can use his system, and with it you can really prop up the character, and it gives a lot of depth. It's a really neat product. It's on Drivethrurpg Hack Dark for Shadow Dark. Anyway, but we're in the less than 72 hours of the Malefic Manor of Count Grigorovich, and I'm just so honored and humbled. People have really stepped up, and this is kind of a tough economy, so I really was not going to be mad if I didn't do this well. But I mean, I'm just absolutely blown away by how awesome it's done. And anyway, yeah, it's great. It's doing
great. And of course, I'll have links to in the description and down a pinned comment to all these projects that are going on. And Jeff is from Korea, so we may lose him temporarily every once in a while.
He doesn't look Korean, so that's kind
No,
of
he
odd.
doesn't. He doesn't. He doesn't. So hopefully he will. He might be having some internet issues right there. And I do have someone else that's going to hopefully show up. I was telling Matt about the other Matt, D'Amico. I'll say just D'Amico. That he's going to show up.
That was a common problem at LongCon. There's a lot of Matts.
There is
so many Matts.
Just holler out, Matt, and then everybody's turning around.
Yeah, everyone turned like,
it is.
Yeah,
it's bad. There's 9 of us there, I think, or maybe more.
It's a lot. We actually there were a few that weren't really in the loop. Because one of the guys from Black Lodge is a Matt. But
might need to change it to Matthews. That's what we do at work. We've got Michaels, and we've got Michael, Mike, 10 o'clock Mike. We have I think we've got another one too. I can't remember, but second shift Mike. I think we have to give them kind of things. So they're unfortunately we will not have Bert or David Beatty tonight. They are busy. Bert has got his live stream going on his channel, of course, like always, and then I believe David Beatty is probably playing some sort of miniature game with a buddy of his at his house. So, but I've just watched Carrie, the original Carrie, with my daughters, and I'll be honest with you, I'd never seen it before.
Really?
Well, it came out before I was born, and then when I got older,
there's a remake.
Yeah, there is a remake.
This is the original.
Yeah, this is the original.
That came out before you were born?
Yeah,
Am I that old?
76. I was born in
that
77. I wouldn't have watched it until I was much older too. I mean, the first scene is quite gratuitous. But it's a thing where like I didn't see it also because it was called Carrie. So like that's the thing is like there's several movies that I never saw, and then I kind of justified it by being like I thought that was a girl's movie, or like I don't care about that. That doesn't have a monster or Dracula, or it's not a fantasy movie. So I was just like, some girl covered in blood. That doesn't look exciting to me, But I didn't.
So
I know
time of the month,
Yeah, exactly. And I didn't even know that John Travolta was in it. I was like, well, there's John Travolta. I occasionally call him Tron Revolta, but I might make that mistake.
Wow. So when you were a kid, you didn't get like the Princess. You went and bought Star Wars and G.I. Joe. You didn't get like Lady J and
no, not
Princess
really.
Leia. They just got left out. They were just like they weren't really characters.
No, not at all.
Tisk.
Yeah, I know it's bad, but I just
and then your teenage year hit. You saw the Jabba the Hutt version of Princess Leia, and you're like, oh wow,
that's not too bad. Yeah, that's not too bad.
You watch Carrie with your daughters. How old are your daughters? I gotta ask.
They are 13 and 10.
Okay,
so
okay. I was gonna say like you got some therapy bills in your
yeah, no. We had to do a little fast forwarding right there a couple times.
Okay,
but it just honestly, man, it just shows you like older movies that they're just so different now compared to the movies are today. They're slower paced. They just so many movies in the 70s and 80s were about high school or some sort of school thing, and they really obviously kind of related to those viewers. But yeah, I'm just sitting there watching it, looking over at them, and I'm like, this is so slow compared to the movies they enjoy nowadays. The movies nowadays are just like go go go. But I can see how it's going. I bet they don't like it, but whatever. Trying to introduce them to some stuff. It was actually my wife's pick, and her pick before was Firestarter. So I guess she just keeps on showing them girls with some sort of unbelievable psychic powers. But
Stephen King stuff,
yeah, Stephen King, and then it's wild how much Stephen King has done so much. If you think about the movies, and you can say whether or not they've been good movies. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I mean, there's some good Stephen King movies, and there's not some. There's some bad ones, but then it's like with my daughters, we're always like, well, it's another Stephen King, and that's Stephen King, and Stephen King,
Well, around Halloween, one of the channels did a Stephen King marathon, and it went on almost the whole weekend. I was like, wow, I didn't realize there were that many, movies.
There's quite a few.
Yeah, there's a bunch. Yeah. Different variety, different. I don't know which one I would say. I mean, I would say maybe I guess The Shining would probably be the best. Right? What do we think about that? I don't know.
Oh, Shining's good stuff. No, I can't miss. Jack Nicholson and what was her name? With that long damn ash on her signature.
Yeah. She just passed away.
Yeah.
Shelley
Yeah, it was sad.
Duvall.
Duval, maybe.
Yep. And no, it's very good. And I don't know if y'all saw Doctor Sleep, but I waited a while to see Doctor Sleep. I was like, I can't simply be that good if it's a sequel to The Shining. And then I was very surprised that I actually really enjoyed Doctor Sleep. So if you haven't seen Doctor Sleep,
Never even heard of it.
yeah, it's a sequel to The Shining. And
Oh,
it's
wow.
got Obi-Wan Kenobi, young Obi-Wan Kenobi in it.
Hmm.
What's his name? I can't remember his name.
Ewan
original
McGregor.
Ewan McGregor. Yeah, he's in it. Doctor Sleep is great. I would tell you straight up, if you like The Shining, watch
Cool.
Doctor Sleep. I just didn't expect after all these years, and it's late. My brain's not really going 100%, but with Kubrick not doing, he doing because he did Shining, right?
Yeah, he did. Kubrick.
But I'm like, no way that after all these years, there's somebody going to make a decent sequel to The Shining. And it was a book by Stephen King, but then I watched it and I was like, "Oh, that's actually very nice," and it's got a very good villain in it. That I was very impressed by, just in general, because it's not something you don't usually see. So, highly recommend Doctor Sleep, and get like the director's cut if you can. One of those, it's a little bit better. But I know I'm going off on a tangent here. We've got, but yeah, just so everybody understands that what D'Amico was talking about was X-Crawl, Rodeo, and yes, I am up to bat, I guess, after Jim. He's made his amount, right? Or is it 3,000, or what is it for Jim?
Where are we? I haven't checked it, but I think we were just under the amount. So then that would
Okay.
be Jim's going to do a character class, and then you're on deck.
Then I'm at
So
5,000.
no pressure. But
No
we
pressure.
also were talking about Matt's stretch goals. I know he's knocked out a few of them already.
Well, real quick, because I don't want to interrupt anybody, but I got to tell you, Matt D'Amico, what a really neat concept, because X-Crawl is a neat concept, but you've taken it to a whole nother level that it's an X-Crawl rodeo, My Old Country Heart. I love that. That's just
it's
very nice, very nice.
It's demanded enough where I'm like, I'm trying to explain to people what it is, and I think I'm gonna have to just like mid thing, just do a like a play test and let everybody just see it, because some people are just like, it sounds
Wrap
cool,
their
but
head around
what
it.
is it? Like, what is it?
You're onto something. Do a play test and get some of the faithful. And I want to be a rodeo clown.
Yes. Like,
I
well,
was thinking the same thing.
it's funny because we have those.
Yeah, I knew you would. I knew you would, baby.
But we have demanded rodeo clowns. Brandon was at the launch party. We have some really sick drawn rodeo clowns. And then David's making the rodeo clown class, which is something we will, hopefully, if we get to that point, David's writing it. So I'm excited about that. But yeah, I think I'm going to have to. We've done really well, and I'm so appreciative. Don't ever think that I'm not. Whenever you put your work out there for anybody, and I know everybody in this chat knows about it, but when you put your work out there and people spend their hard money to buy it, you just feel it's a wonderful feeling. And especially like me, I mean, I don't know what I'm doing. I run around and I have a lot of fun, and I'm like, oh, you want to buy this too? But with X-Crawl Rodeo, I was super excited to do this. This wasn't, it was planned because we did it for Crawl for the Cure, but it was just a one and done, crawl for the cure and get out. And I was just like, wait a minute. And we've had so much fun doing it. And I hope all that translates. And now we just keep coming up with new events. And then John Watson got on board. And I don't know if you guys saw it today, but Luau Lu is coming. And I'm like, we got to keep going. And
Lou is incredibly talented, too talented. I don't know how he does it.
Yeah, so I'm excited if we can get to these stretch goals and knock them out. And and obviously it's funny because everybody's like, oh, that's really cool, and David, but I want my buckle. And I'm like, you will get your buckle, I promise, if we get to that thing. Or maybe
you have buckle bunnies for
well, John Watson was like, what should I write? And I'm like, well, you gotta just write what you know. And I'm like, but I didn't so X-Crawl has a green room, and I didn't really do like an elaborate green room because there's so many other side quests around to do it. I was like, do an elaborate like lounge lizard, like Cowboy Casanova. I said, but keep it like PG, not like PG-13 at the most.
PG-13 maybe.
Teen-ish. So, well, yeah, because that hurt my.
Well, a lot of us, we're like the eternal 13-year-old boy.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah. It. Well. when I reviewed so I did a commentary version of Massacre Grounds because, like I've just said many times, it is all the guys that I grew up with, and it's all these I call them all the old bears. But I told a lot of the stories behind the scenes and what led up to this and everything else. But the stories are very raw. They're not nasty by today's standards, but they're guy-ish talk. I wouldn't say it in church type stuff. But when Goodman Games reviewed it, it's mature content. It slapped that on there. So I'm like, nope. I'm just like, so you can buy it online. You only get the book, and I don't do the PDF because I'm like, I don't want. I work with a lot of scouts, and I don't want them to be like, Mr. D'Amico, you said,
Yeah.
I'm like, no. So it's you can only buy the book, published book, and that's it. I won't do the PDF because I don't want the cut and paste and like that coming back at me.
When we used to do,
Matt.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say, Matt, you could probably live stream to help promote that X-Crawl. I happen to know a fantastic YouTube channel called RPG Overviews.
Oh,
and I bet if you ask the guy who runs it nicely, he might be interested in promoting it.
We were, we were talking about this, and Brandon, Gil, or Bert is, and then I've got, but yeah, what I want to do is honestly, and Matt, I was going to pitch this to you, is get a bunch of the guys from Long Con that are clowns, and just to have a good time with it. Get Couch, get a few other people, and then like just have a good time with it. So we'll just have a good time, and then we'll promote my stuff. But also, I know you got to get to where you're going first. And you're close. How many stretch goals have you knocked down?
We've knocked out 3 stretch goals, and I added a 4th one last night because I'll be honest, I never thought I'd get this far, So I'm just really honored and tickled again. So I came up with a 4th one, but I'm going to have, if we get to 10,000, which we're about $600 away, I'm going to reach out to, thank you. We're going to reach out to somebody, to make me a bit of soundtrack for the manor. There would be pipe organs and whispers and chain rattling or something. So
I think that's a really great idea, and there's a guy who makes adventures for Old School Essentials, and he sent me a bunch of his PDFs, and I was really impressed because every single one of them almost has a soundtrack, and I was like, this is great. And he has, I guess, someone that he knows that makes music. And while I'm doing the video, I've done one of his products. I did the video. I just had the soundtrack in the background. I was like, obviously, he's not gonna flag me for copyright, but just let people hear it to get in the vibe as I tell them about the adventure. So it's kind of neat to look at his stuff, and I think it's something that maybe could be more in focus when it comes to role playing games, is to put in a soundtrack or something. Joey has said that he can't make it, but it's all good. I sent him an invite, but I think that's a neat thing is sound. You know what I mean?
Well,
and maybe adding that to stuff.
Well, have you ever seen when they've taken like these YouTube videos where it's the music video, but they took the music out and you're watching them, you're like, they look like idiots, but when you first saw the video with the music, you're like, oh yeah, look at Mick Jagger go,
Yeah.
Or when they've taken like When Harry Met Sally, but they put really eerie music in it, and you're like, that's kind of creepy. So it really goes to show you how powerful music can be.
It really is.
In a movie or something. But thank you. Just on a goof, I was sitting here I was racking my brain. I turned to my wife and I said, what can I do as a 4th stretch goal? And I reached out to Eddie, and then it just kind of hit me. I'm like, I'll do theme music, because in my game room I have a Bose speaker, and I'll stream music from my phone to the Bose speaker when we're playing to try to kind of set the tone or whatever. And I was like, so
that's cool. That's not a bad idea whatsoever. And I kind of do that too to get into the vibe. Sometimes I'll put on like some sort of like ambient fantasy type music or something like that. But I just wanted to make sure we Matt, you're gonna be D'Amico and he's Matt. Matt, I haven't talked to you since the Long Con happened. I don't believe. So
no, you have not.
Can you give us a wrap up on your end of it? How you think? Went?
I think D'Amico would agree. It's the greatest con ever.
Greatest con ever. Okay. All right. It's really really good. And Mike and Gary are gonna like excommunicate me, but it's really good. It's a two. How many do you have? 210.
So we hit about 250 this year, and that's pretty much
250.
our
Okay.
max. Our venue might go a little bigger, but it would be too loud and be too many people. And that's one thing we've learned. Me and Eddie had went to some of the bigger cons. I won't mention any names, and you just felt like a face in the crowd, and you really don't hardly know anybody,
Mhm.
and it's loud and it's packed like a sardine, and it just we really didn't have fun, you know. And I'm not
Mhm.
gonna, like I said, poor mouth. But it's like we love North Texas. We've been going to North
Yeah.
Texas since year 3, and we love Gary and Mike, and God rest Doug's soul. You know, he was the prime mover back in the day, and we love Doug. And it's that sweet spot. It's about 500 people, which they're going to 600 now. I'm not going to say anything about that, but anyway. But it's great when you go there.
After he said it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, you gotta know me by now. If you
Yeah.
don't know me, to me, come on.
Yeah.
But anyway, but every year when we go there in June, it feels like a homecoming. You know everybody after this many years, and it's like a family reunion, except for you like these people. But anyway, but
I like how he like froze there, like his screen
which
kind of froze.
make sure you got the
No
joke.
crazy uncles.
Because I know I love my family. I don't know about y'all, every one of them. But no, seriously, it's like a family reunion, and you just it's really awesome, a homecoming, and we have a great time at North Texas. D'Amico will tell you, if you haven't been to North Texas, you got to go. But it's a lot of the same people, but on a slightly smaller scale, and so it's definitely intimate. It's a great con. We have a lot of fun. We've got a big love for DCC and its derivatives. You know, over the years we've seen Star Crawl. Hell, what was it last year? Half the games were Weird Frontiers. I mean, am I
That's
right,
great.
Matt?
Yeah. I
You know,
ran
It's a
Master
very
Grounds.
good
Yeah.
game.
yeah, and so, but MCC, Umerica, because I love me some Umerica. I do a tournament
Mm.
every Friday at the cons that I go to, are my con in North Texas, and it's usually based in Umerica, and it's my post-apocalyptic East Texas, and it's zany and wacky and stupid, and we have a lot of fun. But anyway, yeah, next year's year 10, and Eddie, he does all the hard work throughout the year. He's a retiree. And at the con, I'm the face of the con. I'm out here cutting up and glad handing and shaking hands and kissing babies or whatever, and I get all the attention and love. They think this is the guy. He does all the hard work, and I'm like, that's right.
He's the Wizard of Oz.
Yeah, where really it's Eddie who does all that, and he just sits back at the con, quietly, gritting his teeth like you bastard, as I get all the love. But no, but year 10, Eddie is working hard already. He's pulling
Okay.
out the stops. We're on the red carpet. We're going to try to get a lot of really cool special guests for a smaller con. Because we've had Brendan come most every year, and Brendan loves our con. He's told us before. I'm not supposed to repeat this, but he likes our con the best.
Well, honestly, with the DCC following you guys have, I mean, it's a big following. He would do well there. Like Matt Robinson was saying, uh, Robertson, sorry, was saying that it's one of the biggest grossing because he puts out the full spread of DCC products.
He sells
And
better at our con than any other con in Texas. And Texas is a big state with a lot of cons. And he by far, they do well. Well, that's one of those things where at one point Brendan told us after about year 2, he said, guys, I don't know if Joe will let me come back because really y'all are kind of a smaller con. But the way he made Joe understand was we might be smaller, but per capita, I mean, so much of our footprint is DCC. We love, because I've always been a big fan, and I kind of roped Eddie into it, and he's a big fan too. We tried to convince him to make that the official, unofficial Goodman Games con, because there's a lot of love for their product. So we'll see what happens there. I don't know that that's well. They have their own con now, Dungeon Con. So,
Yeah. Okay.
which we were there last year. We had a good time at Dungeon Con.
Dungeon Con.
Yeah.
Yep.
But
you,
thanks for asking about Long Con. Yeah.
So is it held at a hotel? Has it always been the same place, or like what are kind of the particulars of that?
yeah. I'm going to jump in. Honestly, the hotel, when he says it's a Holiday Inn, you're going to think, okay, it's a Holiday Inn. How good could it be? The service is excellent. The people that work there are great. You feel like you're at a much higher end hotel. The rooms are super clean. I can't. Two problems I had. They took care of not this year, but last year. I actually left clothes hanging in the closet. Called them up. They were like, no problem. They got shipped back to me.
Nice.
For free,
they're
right?
just-
They shipped it. They shipped it to you back on their dime, didn't they?
Yeah. No, they're
Wow.
just super nice people. I can't remember what I had an issue with. It was very, very minor. They handled it just like that.
Boy, that's
It's a nice place, honestly.
thank
The only
you.
thing,
Thank
my
you.
only complaint would be the bar closes too early.
Yeah. Well, and it's funny you mentioned that. I had a long talk with them. I said these boys will drink, and they tip well. So
But
I
you
know
got to
they
wait
go-
until we're done playing.
so I had a talk with them when we had our little post-action meeting the week after the con, and I was like, you got to keep that. So they swear they're gonna keep the bar open later, because anyway, like last year they stayed open later, and there were people competing to be the one to stay late in service because these old boys will drink and they'll tip really well. But anyway, yeah, thanks for the kind words. Yeah, it's a great convention space. It really is. They give us the lay of the land for the con. So no, it really is a lot of fun. But we're seeing more Shadow Dark, talking about Shadow Dark earlier, because it's the new hotness. And there's an eclectic mix of other games. I've seen Harnmaster, Gamma World, first edition D&D. So it's all over the place. You can find something that you'll like if you come to LongCon.
Aliens. What was the other one? Paul was running the other version there.
Delta Green.
Delta Green.
Yeah, we got a lot of Call of Cthulhu. We got a local guy, James Ward, that no relation, but he runs a really good Call of Cthulhu game. He gets a lot of accolades for his Call of Cthulhu. Yeah,
That's awesome. So I like to know about cons. Of course, I always want to think about like someone that's running a con. Is there, and my con knowledge is very small compared to other people. So
Sure.
I know people when they're interested in going to a con, especially if they're going to run something that is, are people that run stuff. Are they given? Do they have to do a certain amount of hours to get something? Is there something in it for them to run, or is it simply just like you just show up and run a game if you want or not?
well, I mean, so we use tabletop events because it's just one of the easier things to use, and we ask people to have their games in by October 1st because that's when we open up people to be able to like you can buy and it's kind of tabletop event's a little confusing. So it's a badge. So you're like, wait, a badge? Yeah. So to come to the con, you buy a badge. So that's your entrance into the con. So do you have your badge? You can buy your badge as soon as we open that up, which we'll open it up soon. But then on October 1st, you can get your tickets, and the ticket is your seat at a given table. So we really encourage our game masters to have their games in by October 1st, but you're always going to have some lollygaggers, and right up to,
Sure.
go time, games will be added in. This year we had a ton of games, and which is good because that was always my concern. Eddie and I, when we went to North Texas 2 or 3 times, and he's like, let's do a con because he knew I'd done a con. I helped some guys run a con in Bossier back in the early aughts. And I said, we could do it, but you got to have game masters. I mean, who cares if you got 1 million players if no one's willing to run games? And that was my concern. But thank goodness we've had a lot of people that step up, locals. And gosh, we get people from Austin, Shreveport, Bossier, Dallas, Fort Worth, Houston. It's funny, we don't get very many Longviewites, which kind of aggravating for me. How do I reach these kids,
Yeah.
But anyway, this year we had people from California, Michigan,
If he doesn't say Arizona, I'm going to fall out of my chair.
Arizona,
There
New
you go.
England. We have
I heard
people
they're
from
not
all
very
over.
good though.
So-
Arizona, very dry. They're very dry game masters.
Right.
But
Too much sun. Too much sun on the head.
I know
Yeah.
it kind of
There's a
bakes the
glare.
brain there a little bit.
Yeah.
But no, so it's a lot of it.
Mhm.
But I think what was I'm the world's worst about. I will go on off a tangent. Your
Well,
question
I
was
mean,
talking about game mastering.
yeah,
right?
like I know whenever I ran, or what did I do? Like Gary Con, like if you ran a certain amount of hours and you got like a free badge or you got
There you go.
something.
So
Is there
we do
anything like that?
Yeah, if you run 5 games,
Mm.
I'm going to waive, your entry.
Okay.
But also and Matt will tell you, this is my thing is I'm very appreciative. Hush. But anyway, I know
Hard
that
to
you
count.
wanted to give back to the con.
Yeah.
So
One of those was a gimme.
You
Yeah.
want to give back. You're running a con is tough, and it's
But you
But
got horses.
anyway-
You've got money. You've got money if you've got horses.
Just, yeah. They bleed it.
I buy these bags of like really ooh la la deluxe dice, and
He
I go
does.
around during every round, and I'll give a set of dice to every game master. As I do, I go, yeah, there you go. I say, thank you for running games. Thank you for. And so some game masters like, well, you already hit me last round. I'm like, well, regardless, here's another set of dice. So,
That's
and
cool.
we used to give these really cool hit location dice because I love using those. They kind of
Yeah.
add to the verisimilitude when you go up, he hits you in your left arm, you know.
Yeah.
But I always try to give something to the game masters, and we always give them a shout out during the part where we give the shout outs and the thank yous and all that kind of stuff on Saturday night, and we do our squeaky cage event. But yeah, so no, if you run so many games, we'll
great.
hand wave it. But yeah, luckily we're blessed. People show up and run games.
That's great,
know.
man. I hope to be able to make it there at some point.
You have to, Brandon. I'll send Micco after you. He'll hog tie you.
Yeah.
You know.
I'd like to see his skills. Yeah, he probably is pretty good at that. Hog tying dudes.
It is honestly, and Matt knows I love him. So I got excommunicated from the conclave of Matt's. I had the nerve to go eat because not only did I have to pay for my own ticket, I had to go buy my own food. And apparently, I like the nerve of me to go eat. I'd run games all day. But,
hey, don't let him lie. He had car trouble.
Oh. So Ron is the sweetest man, and I borrowed this man's Lexus, and I go, and it just doesn't start. I'm like, oh no, and I'm across street, and I can just leave it and run, but I'm like, and I feel bad, and I'm like, oh, so I call Ron, I'm like, the car won't start. It's a very nice car, and I'm like, he's like, how is it not starting? I'm like, I don't know, but it was electronic flub with the electronic key, like it went out of order or something, and it shut down. Yeah. But yeah. So yeah, I missed the ceremony for the conclave of bats. I had something
missed it by that much.
Spoofy planned. Everybody had their official hoods and robes, and I had gotten a lounge lizard jacket and was going to come out in my own personal robe and nothing else.
Ooh.
But I got excommunicated. Yeah, you didn't get sick because I had the nerve to go get food.
We'll look to see if we can't get you back into the conclave.
Yeah, I think Couch has got a good plan for that. But honestly, I think it's a really fun con. It's one of the better ones that I've ever been to. It's 200. So you're never going to really have trouble getting into a game. There's plenty of pickup games. I ran all DCC and then a Gangbusters game on Sunday. Honestly, there's a lot of games that I wanted to jump into. Stefan Surratt is there. Beatty's usually there. He was playing Blood Bowl this year. Brendan's usually there. He wasn't there this year. But, I mean, there's just a lot of great and people that you won't know about. Because, like, Ramsey, I think, is getting more popular. And his Hack Dark, I think, is going to be fabulous. I started reading it. He's, like, if you get into one of his games, you're not going to be disappointed. But there's a lot of one of the games that I want to get into is Michelle. She runs. She's the one that hikes. I can't think of her last name right now.
It starts with a P.
Yep. What is it?
I'm not telling you.
Yeah. Anyway,
she runs up.
I can't think of her last name, but it's not easy. It's not like Peterson. It's but yeah. It's a really she's
too much sun. Too much sun. Too much fresh air.
So
everybody's old school names. It's like Matt, Mike, Dave, Michelle. Like everybody has like old school names. Like there's no soliloquy for a name or anything weird. There's just old school names in there. It's like
there's
Matt
not too many
Paul.
Brandons. Yeah.
Sergio ran some games this year, and Sergio ran some games last year. He's got some sort of a cast or stream or something.
Cool.
Sergio, see now I'm doing it. Yeah, but
yeah,
it's late.
Oh, it's catchy, man. I'm telling you,
it's late. But
well, I was gonna say I've been up since 3 a.m. So pity me. But he ran what was it?
Puska, and I had to look that up.
Yeah. But Sergio ran what is it like? watch out, Billy Ed, or whatever. It was something written by Brendan LaSalle. And I heard really good things about that game. It was, DCC, I think Weird Frontiers,
That's a good game. I like that game a lot. I'd like to go there, and what I've done is I've had people ask me if they could give me money, which is odd, and I don't know how to really respond all the time to that.
Say yes,
Well,
please.
Because
yes
the humble,
yes is a
yeah.
good response.
Yeah, it is, but the humbleness of me is kind of like, you do, and so I have set up. I've used that company that I've seen other people use, that Kofi. So I have like a Kofi link if people want to send me a tip. I'm just throwing it out here. Not that we'll get a whole bunch of views on these videos, but maybe I can do a goal of send me to the long con. But it's definitely going to be
Worthy cause.
I mean, because I've talked to you, and I've talked about North Texas too, but I'm starting to lean more towards your convention, just because of friendship. You know what I mean? Of camaraderie, of doing this. And that's what I think is really neat. It's like you come up with a thing. You're like, I'm gonna go to that convention. It's like, well, I meet somebody. You've got a convention. It's obviously doing quite well for you. You enjoy doing it, and it's got a lot of people that I enjoy there too, and the games I like. So it's like, you know what? Maybe that'll be the one I go to. And yeah, I think it's cool. I have not ran anything at a convention. I've done stuff at my local game recently. I did Mutant Crawl Classics, and that was a bunch of fun. Even though there's way too many people there, it was way too huge of a game, and I was mutant powers running amok, and I was like, you're gonna have to look that up for me, man. I don't know what that thing does, you know. But I have ran stuff at other conventions, and especially. I did Dragon Con. I did Gary Con, which was like the big one for me, was to finally go to Gary Con with David Beatty, and that was absolutely fantastic. That's where I got to meet Greg Gillespie and all the big guys from TSR that thankfully are still with us, and got a lot of signatures. Got to meet a lot of great people. So conventions are interesting. Some of the modern times have kind of changed up some things about conventions that have kind of put some people off of going to them. But I think when you know the people that are going to be there and what games they're going to be playing, and you get that little bit more familiarity with them, then it's like, you know what, I think I'll be okay. People know me, and people know, I'll probably see some faces, and you do tend to see some faces. I tell you what, when I did do Gary Con, and I think I actually ran stuff I can't remember. I think I played some games in Gen Con. And it was like same people showing up at the table. Oh, there you are again. There you are again. And I will admit though that the very first convention I ran at Dragon Con, it was early in the morning, and one of the guys fell asleep in my game. It was I was like, okay, well, might as well just get this out of the way.
I mean, but that's a con, because he's like, I tried doing a Midnight Madness a couple years back, and I'm like, I am too old for Midnight Madness.
You got to juice up, caffeine hard. You know what I mean? You got to do something.
I can
for us old guys, you got to start the games at like 5 a.m. when we all wake up.
Oh.
Yeah. And for me, I can only run 2 games in a day. If I try to run a third, I am like monkey mow lawn guy. I can't think straight. I can do 3, and it would just, the third one would be awful. Yeah,
I've done 3 with 2 of them back to back.
Pity us, me and Eddie, when we first started our con, before we built that rep or whatever, getting people to come to run games. Some people ran games, some locals and a few people, but me and Eddie, we had to run the con at the same time, run a bunch of games. The first few years were tough. So we were tickled when we would kind of arrive and we could like, hey, we can back away and just run the con, I mean. But I was going to say, Brandon Gillespie, he couldn't make it this year, but he's been to our con the last couple of years, Greg Gillespie. So again, you're very apt to see Greg there.
Oh,
Brendan comes a lot.
And we're going to all do the same thing with Greg, where we're telling, he knows it. We all tell him to move down here and to leave the dreaded country to the north of us. And he's like, well, I'm thinking about Texas.
Come to Texas.
Yeah, he's like, I'm thinking about Texas. I'm thinking about Texas. Of course, me and David Beatty are going, you need to come to South Carolina. You need to come to South Carolina. So it's like, yeah, he probably gets that all the time. Just any morning, he's like, yes, I know. Yes.
No, but, and Greg's super nice. Say what you will. There's so much slander and bullshit. I won't go into that. Yeah. But having broke bread with the man, and when we've had him at our con, no one, and we have all kind of special guests, and they're all wonderful and gracious, but nobody's more gracious and humble and thankful and comes to me and makes a point to really go, thank you ever so much, and how much I appreciate. He's just a super nice guy.
He is. He is. And
Absolutely.
when I went up to Niagara Falls with my family, we were texting and he was literally like, "Hey, I can come see you." And I was kind of like, "What?" And I was looked at the map and I was looking at Toronto, and he was like, "Yeah, it's only about an hour drive for me. I can come see you. We can go hang out." I was like, "Oh, wow, okay, like, you actually wanna do that?" And, unfortunately, the timing and stuff just didn't really work out, but, yeah, he was willing to just kind of drop what he was doing and just, drive, maybe not an hour, 45 minutes or so, but,
Still, I mean,
yeah, still. And I did, when I met him at, GaryCon, we had dinner together, we had a great talk. That was, several years ago, before some stuff in the industry had kinda changed in the direction that it's gone, and, yeah, and it was just interesting to talk to him about a lot of the stuff, especially me and him living, growing up in Canada and me being most of my life in South Carolina. Even though I was born in South Dakota, I've lived in South Carolina all my life, most of my life, and so it was just interesting, kind of what I've grown up with, being lived in the South, and then him up there, and we got to kind of pick each other's brains. But I was super in awe of him. Barrow Maze had come out, I'd picked that up, and I was really, really impressed. I'd actually been playing it with some people online and died very quickly in it. But no, he was a super great guy. I've still got a T-shirt that I bought. It's a little small now, but somehow it shrunk. I don't know. It shrunk, I think.
what happened? Yeah.
I don't know. Clothes seem to shrink, it seems. I actually lost a good bit of weight. If you go back and watch my videos, especially if you go about 5 years ago, I've been showing everybody Fat Brandon, a picture I took of a screenshot of a video I did. And it's quite impressive to see the weight loss. And it's weird with
Way to
5
go, man.
years. I appreciate, yeah, with
Hey,
5
no,
years.
it's tough. If the older
It
you
is.
get, it is tough.
It is. Your
So
metabolism.
big props, man.
Well, what you used to be able to do to lose weight, you have to do beyond that, and that's
Yeah.
really the thing that is kind of shocking. But if you go back and watch my videos, you'll see the evolution of me, because I just put it on Facebook. 500 videos on my channel as of today.
Oh, I saw that.
So,
Congrats, man. Way to
Congrats,
go.
man.
thank you.
Oh yeah.
And I was very but, oh, okay. Well, thank you.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah.
Yeah. But I was very kind of like, well, that's cool. It's not like it's more like the actual RPG overviews, like doing the actual video. Because I've had some videos of other stuff I've put on there, but of course, obviously the meat of it is this. But it's funny, if you go back and watch my videos, you will see the evolution of me. Beard, I got very sick and I just didn't shave because I was so sick with bronchitis. And then like I came back and I did like a video for Operation White Box. And I was like, oh, I feel like I've been in a war myself, but it's weird to go back all these years. I've been doing it for 11 years now. So it's like, you can see younger me, fatter me, and none of this right here. No Van Dyke, which I'm not sure. Jeff, he's the only one without the facial hair. You got to get on that, right? Because I think we were talking about how we all have this kind of.
I normally so
Yeah.
Normally I have the Van Dyke to also.
It's where
But
it's
whenever
at.
she goes on vacation, I grow it out.
I got you. My wife says it makes me look serious, like if I don't have it, I'm some sort of clown person. But
Well, whenever I decided to shave my head, I consulted a couple of my buddies that shaved their head, and they were like, "Shave your head, it's cool, but don't shave the beard." I said, "Why?" They said, "You look like a cancer patient." I was like,
Well,
damn.
or you look like Uncle Fester.
"Yeah."
No, my wife for family pictures one time decided that I have a 20. My son is 26, going to be 27, and so he had a beard and I have a beard, and she decided for family pictures we were all shaving. And I'm like, really? And she's like, yeah. So she took it off. So like we have family picture, beard, and then one that none of us had beards, and she's like, she regrets that decision because
she's just like, that don't look right.
She's like, it just looked weird. And I was a smart aleck. I said, "Are you sure you want me to shave?" And she said, "Yes." So then I went inside and I shaved the big old giant mustache down. I was like, well, it's not a beard. Yeah, complete. Yeah. Just left this and came out. And she was just like, "Get in and shave that right now." And so I went and, but like even now it's like that's the picture that gets pushed to the back because it's weird looking. Like so here I am with the shaved head and no facial hair, and she's just like, it just looks odd. I'm like, yeah.
When
And,
COVID hit and the big, everyone was freaking out, and we didn't know what to think. So we're like, all right, do what you're told. And it worked. They were like, you got to shave your beards off. So like my boss had a damn Duck Dynasty. I mean, he had a beard, and the other couple of guys I work with, we all had beards. And so we shaved our beards off, and they made us do a group picture. And I'm like, I want no photographic evidence of this. But I look like Wilford Brimley, like the guy from like Diabetes.
yeah, yeah,
It was not flattering.
that's great.
Yeah. What job are you working there? Like, oh, you have to shave your beard for COVID. I thought
Well,
that was
I
the
work in
opposite.
healthcare, so
Oh.
we had to wear those tight fitting N95. See, I love people whinge about the little paper mask. That ain't crap. But strap an N95 on, that thing digs into your face for like 14, 16 hours, like a typical working day for me. And we were getting those scabs on our noses from the mask rubbing and digging in, and you after a while you can't really, because you'll breathe and
Yeah.
your humid breath makes the paper damp. And so
Mhm.
then you can't draw wind through it. And next thing you know, you're getting dizzy. You're like, I got to step out and change masks. Because, oh no, it was, I do not remember those times fondly at all. I mean,
I
for any
think
number.
Beatty had to do the same thing. I think because of the mask, being a firefighter, he had to keep clean shaven. And
Yeah.
when I was a cop, we could only have a mustache. We could only have that like cop mustache. That was just the chief of police's decision,
Yeah.
And so like whenever I left and they got a new chief down the road, he was like, you can do what you want. Beards, Van Dykes, whatever, goatees.
Yeah, we weren't allowed to have anything. We were allowed to have a mustache, and it had to be trimmed
Yeah.
to the edge of your thing,
Yep.
and it couldn't be more than a half inch, and no beards, and hair could not be touching your collar. And now I see guys and they got long hair and beards and face tats, and I mean, it's just
you
weird.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's just like,
Oh yeah. It's
Just
another thing
whatever.
where you're like, you've got it so good compared to us, what we had to do,
I just it's
Yeah, we had to be clean shaven in the morning
different.
too.
The guy told me his wife almost threw hot coffee on him because she didn't recognize him.
That is Joe Bloch, and I have sent him a invite if he'd like to show. He might be busy at the time.
No, I really can't. I guess I should. You mean I'm bad about sharing stories? I shouldn't. But my ex, when I shaved my beard, she walked in the bathroom. She's like, I can't look at you. I can't look at you. And literally, when we were like, I went to give her a kiss, and she'd turn her head. I'm like, come on. She did not like me
Golly.
without the beard.
This is how I am. Like, this is how it is,
like,
Like,
she
no,
was, she'd only ever known me with a beard.
that's wild. That's wild and wacky.
I forgot to give Greg Gillespie his props. So Greg got the band back together. So the guys that did your original test for Dragon Slayer are all playing on Thursday nights. We did our first play test live last night, and then we're skip Thanksgiving, even though it's not a Canadian holiday.
Right.
We're skipping this Thursday coming up, and then we're the next 3 Thursdays after that. So we're testing Greg's new adventure. And so it's me and Keelan and Travis Farber and like a lot of the guys that were original Double D. It's actually, we've all become friends, and it all stemmed off the first play test. So it's really cool. But Greg is a fabulous writer. If you like old school OSR, looking up for the Dragon Slayer is a lot of fun.
I own it. Yeah.
It's really good. It's really deadly. I like that about it because it's like, I don't got to think about a backstory for this character. He's not going to live long enough to get one. It's really fun. So,
Greg,
Thursday nights. Go ahead.
That's when it's gonna be a live stream.
Yeah, it is a live stream. We did our first one last night, and then I don't know because Greg had some issues. We ended up on Double D's site,
right?
And I know I posted the link in my Facebook this morning because there was a little bit of technical difference. I don't know if it's what was going on because there was a little bit of
There's Joe. How's it going, Joe?
Guy.
Hey. Yeah. That was my wife. Literally, she had never seen me without a beard before, and I shaved it without telling her. and I come down the stairs, and she's just come back from Dunkin' Donuts, and she almost hurled the cup of hot coffee at me.
Who is this man in my house?
That's great.
That's
Have you met everybody, Joe? Here, I'm not sure if everybody.
Probably
has met
not.
Joe.
No.
I do. I've had Joe on once before, and it was a wild night.
Well, I own some of Joe's products as well. Some really awesome stuff for old school.
Awesome.
OS.
Thank you.
And
Good product. Good stuff.
Can't remember if Jeff has met Joe. Joe is like he says in his name. He is the Greyhawk grognard. Makes a lot of stuff for Greyhawk. Great having him on the first time. I really enjoyed his company. I made sure to let him know that afterwards. He was just a wealth of knowledge, and I love his defense of alignment in D&D. I was championing him on big time because I was 100% with him on that. And Matt, I can't remember. Like I said, I can't remember who's been here or met Joe.
I have not met Joe.
Okay.
I know of him and I've know of his work, but we've never met.
Okay,
Well,
great.
Well, Joe's been to North Texas before because, like I said, I bought some of his product there.
And I will be there again. I will not be vending, but I will be there.
Good.
That's great. I got to get to these places so we can hang out. You know.
Oh yeah, no, you do. That Page, Total Con, Shire Con. There's a bunch of old school games.
Yeah, Shire Con's good because that's Tom's gig, and Tom's a great guy.
Could you imagine just being super rich and just how people like you got super rich people that just go to like their college football, like every college football game they go to. They fly. And they go. It would be great just to be super rich and just go to cons. That's what you do.
I literally. That's why I buy lottery tickets. It's like all I want to do is just every weekend I'm going to a con in Europe or I'm going to Australia or whatever. I would absolutely do that. I would absolutely just hit cons everywhere.
That'd be amazing.
Like sci-fi cons.
Oh, that'd be great.
George R. R. Martin. Instead of writing your next book, you go to all these cool cons,
conventions. Yeah,
or there's work people on the sequel show for your last.
Wow. Yeah, or like there's people that are like they live on cruises. You hear about, you're like, well, I live at cons. You know what I mean? Like I haven't been to my actual house in like a year. I've been in hotels all year. I wonder if that'd be a lot of game plan you'd be getting in. That'd be amazing. Honestly, that would be fantastic. It's something I've never really thought of. I thought about like if I won the lottery, one of these big ones, I'd take whatever. I'm like, what would I do role playing wise? Like what would I buy? Like, do I need more? What I try to search out for, the original D&D boxes and stuff. Like, what would my collection be like? What would I do? And I'm like, I don't know if I would. I've already got so much.
I don't think I'd do a collection. I would do an environment, right? Okay. I like what's his name? Joe Manganiello.
Yeah, where he plays.
Right. He's got but he converted his wine cellar into a gaming space. Right. I'd do something like that. Like I'd have like the ultimate tavern in the basement thing.
Like Richard Garriott. Richard Garriott?
No.
Richard Garriott made the
Ultima.
The Ultima series. He's
Lord British.
Yeah, Lord British, the Ultima the PC games. I actually met him at Dragon Con. It was awesome to meet him. He's a philanthropist. I think
he's got his own island, man, or something.
Yeah,
right?
he's been in space. He paid the Russians to go to space. I was like,
I'd do that.
He did that.
I had the money. I would absolutely go up in Musk's capsule.
No doubt. I got to shake Lord British's hand, and he just exuded money. If you've ever been around someone who's got a lot of money, you'll just kind of see it. Like it's weird. It's just kind of like you can tell he's got that like a lot of them have like a perfect tan. And just like rings and like watches and stuff. I was like, "Ooh, this is nice." And then I asked him, I said, "How, were you scared when you went to space?" And he was like, "Oh yeah, I was scared." But he has like a castle. Like his house is a castle.
He has something to live for. Yeah, he was scared of dying.
Yeah, exactly. But exactly what you're saying, Joe, is that he has an environment which is a castle, and it even has like hidden rooms and like secret doors.
I would have. I have a dream. I want to have a study. And when I want to have the library and then the study and then the secret study and then the secret room beyond that. I want to have like a whole series of them.
Wow.
I want to have a clock. He wants to have a clock that spins out in a pole.
Oh, that'd be great. Slide down. Yeah.
Only if I can have Shakespeare's head and you lift it up.
Yeah, that's right. And then you go to the back cave.
I'm gonna switch to this and see what y'all think. Do we like that better now that we have 5 people?
Yeah.
Is that better? Kind of fills it out. Okay, great. No, I think that's a great idea, Joe. I think that's something I didn't really think of. It's like, yeah, you would have like the perfect table, because that's the thing too. It's like my buddies will buy a table, and I look at it and be like, no, that's not good for roll. That's not good for playing games, man. You know what I mean? Like it's not the right size, or it's too narrow. Like, how are you going to put a mat? Like,
I don't just play RPGs, right?
Right.
I'm really big into miniatures gaming too.
Sure, me too.
So I need a space that I can use for everything.
Right.
You know, so there'd probably be like the board game table over there, and the 6x8 table for minis over there, and then like one of those ginormous things with the cup holders for RPGs,
Yes.
and some video games over on the side. I'd have the whole. It would be a real game room environment.
No doubt. I think that's a great idea. What about you guys? Would y'all
on my
do
dining
anything?
room table, and my ex-wife was like, "Anybody rolls metal dice on this table, I'm going to kill you."
Those metal dice are super cool, but yeah, you do not want them.
That's what I got. I all my dice are metal dice, and I sell these D100s. They're solid steel, and they're like 1.5 inches in diameter. They're 2 freaking pounds.
That would put a divot in your table, like a crazy divot.
And at conventions, I will, like 10 times a day, I will take one of the dice and I will just drop it from about a foot up, and the whole room their heads all turn.
Hey! Somebody's dropped a dumbbell.
It cracks your granite counter when you just.
That's great.
You can get a replacement for that.
That's how the fight started.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, if I win the lottery and Beatty said he's coming with me, it's the ranch, middle of nowhere, lots of horses, dogs, and no one else. Beatty says he's going to buy the property next door to me just to annoy me. I'm like, he won't be able to afford it.
His would be a cat ranch, right?
His cat, yeah. Well, obviously, maybe it'll be the cat ranch. That'd be fun. Maybe that'd be all right. The original cat ranch. You can open that next
Bunny
door.
Ranch / cat ranch.
Bunny Ranch. That's the one.
That's a bunny ranch. Wasn't there a cat ranch?
The thing about David is that
there's a cat house.
Yeah, there's a cat house. There's no amount of cats.
Well,
there's no limit to the amount of
chicken ranch
cats.
here in Texas, down in the range,
Yep.
Yeah, David. That's the thing about him.
Before these guys dirtied up my my fantasy of horses and dogs in the middle of nowhere,
Matt, you just. I never understood the ZZ Top song until you just said that.
You're welcome. They got a lot of nice girls. Sorry, Matt. Go ahead.
I knew it was about that in general. I didn't realize that was the specific. Okay, now that makes sense. 40 years later.
Yeah, it's all good. That's what I'm here for.
But D'Amico, you wouldn't buy anything or like try to get anything. Nothing you really want.
I'm very fortunate. The things that I want, I can't have anymore. Like I told you, I think we were maybe when we were talking about the show, is that I got pissed off one day and sold all my original stuff. Right. So I don't want to buy somebody else's stuff. I would love to have my originals back. Oof. Like I want mine, and those are gone. I would just, and not because they're worth anything, because they were well used and well loved. I just got mad, and there's a used bookstore, Bookman's. I came and took all my original stuff and and got rid of it, and probably got like $40 total. So I would like my original stuff, but that's gone. So you're never gonna find that,
right?
But,
it's like those videos of the guy who his family, he had to sell like his Corvette when he was younger, and then like he's older and his family found it, and they give it back to him. They surprise it with him. I've always wondered about when you get it like a used D&D book or some role playing book, and it's got somebody's name on it. It's like, who was that person? What did they do? I think about that. I think about it like in one of those like kind of small YouTube documentaries, like going to go find that person and be like, hey, I've got your name.
Hey, I'm putting it out there. If you guys have the original Dungeon Master's Guide, and it's got the little red, yellow, green, like little
tabs
on the side, and it actually has my name in it. That's mine, and I would happily buy it back from you.
I actually have
Eddie.
Go ahead. You say you have this. I'm gonna we're gonna meet.
No.
Your house.
I've got
making a deal.
Go ahead, Matt.
No.
So the second North Texas, somebody back then, it seemed like the first couple of North Texas, there were these vendors that have all this really cool stuff. And like, I got one of those deities and demigods with Cthulhu and the Melibonian mythos in it, pristine condition. And back then it was like $75 or something. But anyway, Eddie bought a player's handbook, second edition, that was just in perfect condition, and we're walking away from the booth he bought it, and he opens it, and a little piece of paper just flits out like a leaf off a tree, and I leaned over to pick it up for him. I looked down, it was Gary Gygax's signature.
Get out of town on the piece of paper.
And I was like, holy crap, and I handed it to him, and he was like, no way, anyway. But yeah,
that's awesome. That's awesome.
I've actually got a story, and just like Matt D'Amico, I've got a I bought the very first ever sold Temple of Elemental Evil. Ooh. I was at Gen Con on the Saturday in 1985, I guess it was, and I was the first one by the door, and they opened it up, and I run over to the TSR booth, and Gary Gygax signs it, first ever sold.
Wow,
whole big deal. Wow. And then 10 years later, I'm never going to play D&D ever again.
Oh no,
that's me.
I sell it for like $200, nothing, pittance. I would pay serious money to get that back. Uh-oh. And I say this whenever I get a chance, if anybody's watching this and they have that, please reach out to me. I want it back. I will pay you for that.
That's awesome. I hate that happened, but I think we've all kind of been there. Jeff's looking for something. He's got something.
Yeah, I actually got a copy of Grit. I don't know if you're all familiar with Grit, a little indie game here, but I bought it from Jeff McAleer from his YouTube channel. He does the Gaming Gang, and he uses some of the stuff he gets in to fund his trips to Gen Con. And my copy of Grit I got from him was signed to Jeff, also Jeff here, by the game producer, saying, "Hey, Jeff, thank you for supporting me, blah, 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 blah." So now it's mine. So now I get to say, "Oh, yeah, this copy of Grit."
That's good.
So,
that lined up really well,
Yeah, so it was Jeff McAleer, but it doesn't say McAleer on it.
It says Jeff.
It says Jeff. That's all that counts.
Yeah, that's you. Anytime you get something signed by somebody, they're like, "Do you want me to put your name?" And I'm kind of like, "I may sell it. Don't do that." Like, don't put my name on.
I'm like, no.
Yeah, authors love to hear that. By the way, yeah. That thrills me when say, "No, don't put my name in it. I might put this on eBay.
I may need money." Well, I mean,
it's funny was talking about Greg Gillespie. When I met him at North Texas and I bought Barrow Maze and handed it to him, said, "Would you please sign this, Mr. Gillespie?" And he wrote in there, "The only time you have too much oil is when you're on fire."
That's true.
I'm surprised he didn't correct you and say Dr. Gillespie.
Dr.
Right.
Gillespie.
Gillespie. I tell you another quick that I wanted to mention this about Greg earlier is he is very opinionated and strong in that when it comes to RPG design.
What?
You know what I mean? Like he'll be like, I'll be like, well, so I'll be talking about a game to him. I'll be messaging him. I'll be like, yeah, I really like the art in that game. He's like, that art's terrible. All the art in that book is terrible. I was like, really? He's like, no, it's all horrible.
And you don't know what he thinks. Oh yeah.
Yeah. Or somebody will ask him like, why is this rule not in Dragon Slayer? It's a terrible rule. And I was like, okay. Oh.
Yeah, you don't have to worry about what Greg is thinking. He's going to tell you pretty quick.
You're ignorant, and I'll tell you why.
Well, I mean, that was online. I'd asked a question about, I think, the cleric or something in Dragon Slayer, a rule, and he was just very curt with his answer. First, I was like, "No, you didn't, mofo." But then I was like, "All right, calm down." You know, he answered your question. He didn't use a lot of extra verbiage. He just got to the point. I'm like, but yeah.
Somebody asked about healing over time, like why is there no like resting to heal? And he was like, because it's a terrible rule and it should never exist. And I was like, okay, well, duly noted,
Yeah, and the conversation at that point with him, it's over, and you're like, but wait, when the human body, when you rest, does recover from, and nope.
See, and me, people will like ask me a question on Facebook, and you can't shut me up. I will just get, I'm Googling things, and I'm just don't you put a quarter in me, you got to listen to the whole song.
That's right. You asked the question. Now listen to the answer.
Yeah, you're getting the fire hose now.
Yeah, that's funny.
Getting the fire hose.
No, we were on a. I don't remember. I apologize. I can't remember the gentleman's show. Obviously, names are escaping me tonight. But it was me, Greg Gillespie, Keelan, Travis, and a few other guys. It was people that had produced RPGs, and it was like, how do you go about it? So I was kind of I've got 3 or 4 books, and then Keelan was brand new. He just, he's got the Harvest. Oh God, what's the name? Is that? I do. Apparently, I can't think of names.
It's like these people.
Ginkgo biloba.
Anyway, it doesn't. His book does not impact the story. So they were saying, "Well, how do you get inspiration to write?" And I said, "I write middle. I write end. I write all over the place. I don't write in order." And I'm kind of like a kid with a pair of scissors. I just run all around. And then Greg was you just tell his face was like draining of all the blood. And he was very polite. He waited until I was done. He was like, "That's the wrong way to write." He's like, "Good outlines." He goes, "You won't have writer's block." Because I said, "Well, I write several different things at once a lot of times because when I get writer's block, I just go to a different project, start writing on that. And a lot of times once I do that, it's like, oh yeah, I'll go back to this, or I'll be on my horse or whatever. And I have my own process and it works for me. But he, being a professor, did not care for that. And he told me, and I started laughing like, oh man, to him, I'm just chaos. I mean, we're good friends, and he can tell me that I don't care.
See, I write the same way you do. I've literally got things that I've been working on for 8 years, and I've like restarted them 5 times. And just what'll happen is every once in a while, just something will click, and I can't write fast enough. I gotta get it on the page, and then it's done. But I've got like 8 things in the works at any given time, and the muse just hits.
Yep, and then you're Rain Man.
I gotta write this down.
Yep, no, I'm the same way. I've got several things that are partially done or somewhat done, or like the opening is done, and then I've got other stuff that's almost complete, and then I've got stuff that's complete that's waiting to come out. And I tried to talk about my process, and he just. Hey, he doesn't write that way, and it works for him. His stuff is really good. I love his Bloch playing his game. He's a good friend, but we just have different ways of doing it.
And it sucks because I'm supposed to be working on a project with a deadline for another publisher, and I'm like, I just don't feel it.
No, when it's like for me, when
I gotta get out of here. So sorry.
Sorry, Jeff.
Jeff.
I'm going to listen to on YouTube while I'm finishing up having lunch here. So,
well, thanks for joining, man. Always enjoy you being on. So.
Jeff, send me a portfolio and your rate sheet. I'm always looking for artists.
Fantastic, will do. All right, thank you.
That's great.
Take it easy, guys.
Thanks, Jeff.
Take it easy, Jeff.
All right. Oops. No. Did I lose somebody else? It switched. What happened was he hit and it moved over, and I hit Matt. So.
It's like one of those little slide puzzle things.
There we go. I'll move y'all back. There we're back. Yeah, it is. It's easy.
It was okay.
But
how dare you?
The YouTube channel you were talking about is it that this is Dundermouse? That's the Dundermoose.
Dundermoose.
Yeah.
I knew I was going to butcher it, so I couldn't remember it was Dundermouse. It was like Michelle's last name. I could not think of it. I'm like, it was going to be Dundermouse. No, it was Dundermoose.
I just went to your Facebook page and scrolled down and saw the video. And then I saw that you went to your first Buc-ee's. Is that correct?
Yeah, they dragged me down. So we did the road. So the good thing about Long Con, whether you think it's a good thing or not, is that you get to drive across Texas. And so if you do the old school, get a bunch of buddies and drive, it's like you're all 16 again and you have fun. So it was me, John Watson, Ian Rucker, and
Hi, person.
David Sutton. Was it David Sutton?
Yes, David, because we have a bunch of Davids.
Seeing the video right now.
We had a blast. I mean, honestly, I was like, this is so much fun, because last year I did it by myself. I just rented a car and drove. Professional.
But coming from Dallas to Longview, you go right past Buc-ee's. Yeah.
That was your first time being there?
First time. Yeah, I did.
What do you think? Let's hear your review and what you got and what your thoughts.
It was interesting. I honestly, I got a cup of coffee, and then David went and he said, "You got to try the pecan like fudge," and I was like, "All right."
Okay.
So I got a piece of that. I was underwhelmed with the fudge.
Okay.
Everything smelled delicious, but we had just had lunch. It's probably
Nope.
the cleanest truck stop I've ever been in my
The
entire
cleanest
life.
bathrooms, man. Those bathrooms are clean. That's their claim to fame, man.
You didn't
Yeah,
get any
so-
Well, I
brisket?
think the brisket.
Yeah, that's
Did
what me and
not
Joe
get
were about.
brisket.
Brisket.
Brisket
I,
for the brisket.
We had
Brisket
just
on
had
the
lunch.
board.
Yep. And they had beef jerky, and I gotta admit,
Great beef
I
jerky.
ate enough of that as a kid. I'm just like, it's not not a Bucky's. I'm just not a huge fan of beef jerky. That I was like, oh, beef jerky.
Well, a lot of people swear by the beaver nuggets.
Yeah.
I love
Oh,
those.
John got
Yeah.
those, and he was supposed to give some to me, but apparently they're very, very addictive.
Dear to
Coveted.
him.
Very coveted.
So he opened them and demolished the whole bag, and the bag's like this big.
Yeah.
And
He's like,
I'm
oops.
yeah, he's like, oops, I ate them all. I'm like, dude, that was like 10 pounds of beaver nuggets. Like, how'd you eat that?
Oops, all
Well,
eaten.
Yeah,
Yeah.
John's a big boy.
John's a big boy.
Yeah,
For
he
sure.
is.
But no, we had a great time. We drove across Texas. I got to go in there. They filmed me going in. They were like, "You've never been to
great.
Bucky's?" And yeah, so it was my first experience. I did not expect all the tchotchkes and the beaver Santa suits and the
Yeah.
It's
They
have
have
a-
the little bronze statue that's like 4 or 5 feet tall
Yeah.
outside.
Yeah, it was no, because my son was goofing because we're getting our first one in Arizona. So they're building it right now,
Great.
and it's off of like I-10 and it's just names are gonna escape
That guy.
me.
It's that guy. I-10 and that dude.
Yeah, I-10 and
Right.
yeah.
So we have one going. You're going to Myrtle Beach, which I'm certain y'all probably heard of that.
Grew up going to Myrtle Beach.
Quite a well-known beach. There's one in Florence. So as you're driving, they knew exactly what. It's all about location. So as you go to Myrtle Beach, you have to go through Florence. Normally you go through Florence, and they put one right there. And in the summertime, it's literally miles long to get into that Buc-ee's in the summertime because people are going to the beach. But my wife recently, she went on a cruise and she went down south towards like Charleston, Savannah, and she passed 3 Buc-ee's on the way. That's how many. And I think they're putting one in Savannah. They've got 3 other ones that it has to do with Georgia and Florida and stuff like that. But it's always fun to see. We've actually got one coming up here to the upstate of South Carolina. But get this, they have to change the highway in order to accommodate it. Like the road must be changed. Like they're like, it's going to be here, and then everybody was like, "Yay, a Buc-ee's!" It's going to be going from Greenville to Atlanta, which is that's a good stretch to put it at. Again, all about location. Because they advertise all the way up here. They advertise as you're going down in towards Georgia. They advertise for Buc-ee's, but it's like 150 miles away, and it's not
like
just
a road sign every 5 miles.
No,
Yeah.
And it's not
a billboard in Scranton, Pennsylvania, that says you are only 500 miles away from the next one.
Unbelievable. Yeah. And it's not even that road. You've got to take many more roads, different turns and everything to get to it. It's not like it's on this road, but we were all happy that it's going to be, it's not my preferred place that they're putting it, but I was like, cool, it's going to be down there. That's going to be neat because it's going to be close to Clemson, and that's, of course, well known. And so it was like, great. But then they were like, ooh, now we got a problem. The road is not ready for this Buc-ee, so it's been delayed, I believe. But it's always great to hear people's reaction. But yes, get the brisket, and I like the different sandwich combinations because it's not just brisket. They may have brisket with barbecue in there too, or they do a bunch of different things like that. And I do like the candied nuts they have there. There's like an assortment box you can get, and I devour it daily.
They've got chocolate covered coffee beans.
Mhm.
Oh man, those things are good. But if you gotta go easy on them.
Yeah, you'll get amped up. It's a smart company too, because you go in there, like Matt, you were talking about all that stuff you see there, but a lot of it is their own. They're keeping that money to themselves. That's a lot of their own products, like their beef jerky is fantastic.
And I will say something good about them as a company. On the gas pumps, they'll tell you, "Hey, we're hiring managers, assistant managers, the car wash manager," and what they pay is very respectable. What they pay their employees, they really do take care of their staff, which I think that's kind of noteworthy.
It is.
I've only been once. I went when I drove down to North Texas. I passed right by one, and I got to stop at a Buc-ee's, and my God, I was just flabbergasted. I brought a thing of the beaver nuggets home for my wife. Well, I had one myself.
Sure, that's
And
understandable.
I brought one over, and then
Let's not be crazy.
she like hoovered them up, and I had to get more on Amazon.
Wow.
That's great.
I still haven't got to try the beaver nuggets. I got to try the fudge.
Have you ever had like Fiddle Faddle or Screaming Yellow Zonkers?
Yes.
It's that. It's that.
Okay.
It's
very good. It's
I
one of those
was
things you just
not
keep throwing it in your mouth.
overly.
Yeah.
I was not overly excited about it, and John was like, "When I open it, you got to have some." I'm like, "All right, cool." And then I think he was pretty stressed about the dungeon crawl,
Dungeon dwelling creatures.
Dungeon dwelling creature.
Dungeon dwelling creatures.
Make it work.
Excommunicated.
Yeah.
Hey, I've made a bunch of mistakes with that.
But yeah, he chowed that whole bag. I was like, wow.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah.
But you know what's weird about Buc-ee's to me is like me and the wife 3 years ago, so they're probably more now. We drove from Longview all the way down to Universal Studios. There were 3 Buc-ee's along the way, and one was a little off the beaten path. We had to go by every one of them. I'm like, dear. She's like, nope, we have to.
Wow.
And we even had to go by some of them on the way back. But I say that she bought me a T-shirt for a Buc-ee's, and I'm wearing it. And people, you're out somewhere, and they're like, oh, yeah, man, Buc-ee's. And I'm like, is this a cult?
Yeah, a little bit.
I do the same. I've got a Buc-ee's Halloween shirt, and I get the same thing. And
people were like,
it is a cult.
Yeah, man,
Well,
Buc-ee's, dude.
It's something
Although
to
they will never have one in my home state of New Jersey. You know why?
Why is that?
Because in New Jersey,
gas.
you can't pump your own gas.
That's it. Yep.
Oh,
You have to have a gas attendant, and they would go bankrupt hiring all those people to pump the gas.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, no, that's unfortunate. But yeah, you're right about the shirt thing. Actually, it was my daughter's birthday. We went to a little restaurant called Texas Roadhouse, which I know y'all all know about that.
Oh, yeah.
It's the #1 now chain restaurant in America, as it beat Olive Garden, which it should have a long time ago, probably. And sure enough, we were sitting there, and this lady, my wife, had just gotten a Buc-ee's shirt. She gets one whenever she goes to a Buc-ee's, and it's also her travel shirt. Whenever we're traveling somewhere, she wears a Buc-ee's shirt. But this lady that was sitting beside us, she was like, "Oh, I love your Buc-ee's shirt," and it kind of had that like Hollywood logo. That Hollywood has it's not like the sign of Hollywood, but like that kind of like stylized Hollywood. And it's like that with Buc-ee's. And she was like, "Oh, I love your shirt." And then they talked about Buc-ee's. So I think it's a thing that you have to go experience. So you feel like, you've all experienced that. You know what I mean? So it's like you want to reach out to somebody and be like, "Oh, Buc-ee's, cool. Great logo." I mean, it's just smart. It's just smart across the board.
Yeah, we're getting our first one here. I think it'll be built sometime next year. It's it's over going into the Reds Guardians complex. So spring training, the guys that get off the freeway at Bullard there. See, I remember the name Bullard. There's a big Buc-ee's they're building right there. It's huge, and then you'll be able to hit Buc-ee's and then go to the Reds Guardians spring training stadium. It's like right down the block.
Do you think it'll have horse hitches for you? Anybody?
It's too far away. Like that would take me a couple days. That's funny because people don't realize. Like they're like, "Oh, you should do this with social media, or you should do this with social media. You should be on TikTok." Like I spend most of my time on a horse. Like the guys were arguing about the Dragon Slayer. We have our own private chat. We were talking about how to screw Greg over and make him so he can't kill us all. And they were like all going back and forth. And then Greg is Canadian. He got hit with the tariffs. So they send the thing, and he was ranting. And the nice thing about an educated man when they rant, you can just go to the bottom level and just mess them up. Because he doesn't understand it. He's way up here, and I'm just like, I was a street cop for a long time, so we were messing up. But these guys are going back and forth, and they're like, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm on the horse right now, and I'm literally texting from the horse, and we're like just trotting through the desert. Like that's the majority of the time that I spend is like when I have free time, I get on my horse and I just go. And you guys every once in a while I'll post some pictures and video, but like. Yeah, I just people are like, "Oh, I did this on the internet, did this." I'm like, and then Buc-ee's, I'm like, yeah, those are the places I like turn left and avoid. I like to be alone. When I'm alone, when I like people, I like people. Yeah, and
you're a switch.
I kind of stay. I like my solitary time. It doesn't bother me at all.
I'm looking at this Buc-ee's video of you that's going, and like it doesn't look very busy at all.
No, it was that's what they were
weird.
telling me. It was like it was empty. And I was just like, okay, so it's a big giant empty Walmart, and I'm walking around. I'm like, it was a lot of
Wow.
It's
like
weird. Normally it's packed. I'm
Yeah,
just
yeah,
normally
that's
they're
what they were
packed,
telling me.
man.
But
And
we
that's
went in kind of an odd time. It was right after lunch, and we got a delicious cup of coffee. I didn't have any problems. Went to the bathroom. I was like, wow, this place is immaculate, and the food smelled good. I just wasn't hungry, and
Sure.
then I was just like, I walked. I was like, any snack that I wanted. I walked down, and then I can't remember what caught my eye. It was like they have some bizarre stuff with Bucky's.
Yeah, it's good.
they've
Yeah.
got these cookies, like a 5-pack of these big, like
Mhm.
oh yeah,
Chocolate chip.
Yeah.
oh yeah.
Yeah, they have a lot of sweets, a lot of stuff. I was just
A lot
like,
of
wow.
meat.
Yeah, you could just spend. Yeah, I mean, you definitely make yourself some breakfast, lunch, and dinner there.
Well,
So,
usually they are very busy, and I've talked to the people there, and the one like in Florence, it's busy all the time. So they say like even though they pay well, they're like we are constantly working. Like there's no like chill time. You know what I mean? It's just
no,
keep them
it was
coming. Keep them
empty.
coming.
It's
Yeah.
funny when you say Florence. We have Florence here, and it's a prison town.
Oh,
And it's
okay.
it's like it's Florence prison. They've sung songs about it, and that's our Florence. And it literally is a well, they've gotten a little bit bigger, but it's the regular state prison, and then it's got a couple of private ones there. But
Wow.
That's pretty much the whole state of New Jersey. So
yeah, well, yeah.
Well, guys, I hate to leave good company, but
Oh, that's
like I
great,
said,
man.
I've been up since 3, and I got to
Yeah,
work
get
tomorrow.
get you
So
some sleep, man. And that's what's
yeah,
so good. If you need to go, like Jeff, and people jump
sure.
in, I tell
Just let
people,
you guys know.
just
I didn't want to
if you
just
if you
pull an
got a
Irish
minute,
goodbye.
just if you got a minute, go ahead and pitch again. Whatever you need to pitch about what you got
Sure.
going on.
Like I said, we're under the 72-hour mark on the Malefic Manor of Count Grigorovich. Really cool old school adventure. This isn't me. This is Eddie talking. My friend Eddie that's played it back in the Gap, and he said, "Wow, this brings back waves of nostalgia. This is the dragon we've been chasing. That when you want to capture that energy from when you were a kid." This is that adventure. Now he's saying that, not me. Eddie can be a bit of a harsh critic, and he raves about this game. He's ran it himself in different iterations. I've ran it many times. It's been very well play tested. It's got some devious traps, new monsters, new magic items, puzzles, riddles. It's got factions. So anyway, it's a really it's a work of love. I've written
Great.
this thing and polished it over years. I thank everyone that's already kicked it, and if you haven't, check it out. We've already achieved 3 cool stretch goals, and we've got one more we're pretty close to. So yeah, and then check out Long Con. Next year's year 10, and we want to do a blowout for year 10. So if it was your first time coming, we're going to ruin you for other cons. So,
I want to be
Matt,
there,
shoot me
man. I want to
shoot me the link to the Kickstarter. I'll put it on my socials.
thank you so much. I appreciate that, Joe. And again, your products are awesome, man. I bought like 3 or 4 of your books at the booth a couple years ago at North Texas. Good stuff, and the book's really high quality, man. I mean, your stuff's not just the writing is great, but great books, man.
Thank you.
Yeah, and I'm
that's
really
great that
excited
you met
about
him.
your rodeo X-Call, man. That's going to be awesome, Matt.
That's
Can't
what
wait.
Matt's.
thank you, bud.
That's what's
Thank
got
you for
going
having
on.
me on, Brandon. As always, it's been a
course,
real
man.
pleasure.
Of course, man. Anytime you want to be on, and I'm on here, and like I said, for you to be able to meet Joe, I mean, just that's what I think is so cool about this. Is just you never know exactly who's going to be here. Then maybe you know them, and then like Joe, he was talking to Jeff about maybe his art, which Jeff's a great artist. So it's like it's just cool. I don't, and I'm just sitting back watching, and be like, oh, this is awesome. For people to be able to meet and say, hey, I bought your product, and I really like it. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, that's really cool.
I loved last time I was on here. Matt held up Caverns of the Dead God, and I was like, oh, that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Now he's never opened it or read it, but I
Oh,
know.
oh wow! Ouch! I'm
Picture book.
wounded.
I kid.
I kid.
Hey, I liked it so much. I backed your other one. So
I know. I guess I'll have to back yours now. It's only fair.
that's right.
Am I supposed to back all this stuff? That's the thing. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't know if I'm supposed to. I gotta
You
back all this
absolutely are
stuff.
supposed to at
You
the
should,
highest
yeah.
tier.
That's true.
But the thing is, I've got
That's the
so many
protocol.
projects that come to me, and I help out, and I'm like, I'm gonna be doomed. You know what I mean? Like I have to tell people, like, look, I just can't do it. Like I've got so many. I want to help.
I know
Like-
that's how I was going to go. I know a guy that he buys all this stuff, but then he'll turn around and
Yeah.
he'll write it off as it's research for
That's
his
what I do. That
game
I'm not
designing,
even joking.
and
That is
and
exactly
then
what
he
I do.
sells it off online on one of these Facebook groups where they sell off gaming paraphernalia, so he doesn't pay any kind of fees or dues. So this is devious, you know. But
No, it
anyway,
is. If you've got a company, it's deductible.
Yep.
yeah,
That's great.
absolutely, yeah. So it's
That's
quite
awesome.
clever. Well, now I got to figure out how do I get out of here.
Then you just exit out, and then I'll talk you
I'm
off.
kidding.
There you
Y'all
go.
have a good night. Thanks again,
All right.
guys.
Thanks, Matt.
See you, Matt.
Later. There we go. Now it's the three of us, and we'll do that.
God, my
Yeah.
head is huge. Stop
There we
it.
go. We'll do that. Yeah, when it gets 3, it's a little too close. But if you get like 5, it kind of does it a little bit better. I've noticed. But
There's too much of a glare. Don't do that.
yeah,
Just
No
way.
doubt.
No,
Let me see. That's great.
if you do get to go to that con, obviously, it's a good time. North Texas is amazing. The only thing that I would tell you, the big difference between North Texas and Long Con, it is very hard to get in. Joe's games fill up almost immediately. There's very hard to get in some of the bigger games anymore. They just go and they sell the tickets. So they sell half the tickets to the early bird. You pay $5 to get in, which is not an overwhelming price, but you have to really like wait and try to get in. And if your computer lags, like Jeff Delaney is another person that I really enjoy. I think his games are super solid. Hyperborea I think I really enjoy that.
Yeah.
And I cannot get into one of his game, and I'm friendly with Jeff, and he's like, well, just walk. And I always feel bad. They're like, well, just walk in and I'll let you play. I'm like, but somebody else paid to be at that table, so like
Right.
you don't want me crowding in. But
Right.
North Texas sometimes can be a little hectic trying to get into a game. Where Long Con, I feel like you can get into most of your games if you want to.
Yeah,
I
I'm
think
gonna
Never
be
did.
a guest next year. I last time I went, I was a vendor, so I didn't have to
Okay.
run anything, and I'm gonna be a guest. So, which sucks because normally I like to run miniatures games as well as RPGs,
Mhm.
and I can't take my
2
miniatures.
years ago,
That's
2
not
years ago,
good.
you ran games, though, didn't you? Or
No.
you were a vendor?
I was a vendor,
Okay.
and when I'm a vendor, I don't run games.
Okay. I
I
thought.
can't do that. I tried it. I tried it at GaryCon. The first time I went to GaryCon, I was a vendor and I did like I was running Castlemat Archmage, and I was so wiped
Mhm.
from selling all day long.
Mhm.
And then oh my god, I gotta run a game.
Ooh,
I
brutal.
sucked. I knew I sucked,
Mhm.
and I felt bad for these people.
Yeah.
And I even canceled the game that I had scheduled the next day because I knew I was so bad. So I do not mix and match. I'm either a vendor or I'm running.
I think that's a good way of doing it. And I've done that too, where I'm like, Dave will be like, well, are you going to run something? And I'm like, no, I think I'm just going to play. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm going to experience other people. I don't really want to go through the work. But then, like at GaryCon, I did. I ran, at the time, Sword and Sorcerers of Hyperborea. And it was great. I had a great time with that, you know. And I think I ran some other stuff too, maybe something else. But that was a while ago. But cons are weird, man. They're definitely a cool vibe. I like when you first get to a con and you're like looking around. You know what I mean? You're like, who am I going to see? And then when I went to GaryCon, I mean, I got to meet some really cool people, and of course, Gen Con. I mean, Gen Con, if you want to meet some people, it's phenomenal. I don't know,
I
Joe,
have
if
not
you've
been
ever
to a
been.
Gen Con since it was in Minneapolis,
Gotcha. Well,
which
now
was like
it
1991
was
or
probably
something.
very good back then. Now it's just so big.
I can't
And
do. It's the
yeah,
same reason I don't go to New York Comic Con.
Mhm.
It's just so huge and so many crowds. I literally the year I stopped going to Comic Con, it took me an hour to get out of the vendor's room.
Oof.
I was on the far side of the vendor room, and all I wanted to do was leave. And it literally took an hour to get through the crowd.
You did a fake a medical emergency, and
Oh
then
my!
they got you out of there.
I couldn't believe it.
Yeah, the crowds can be bad. Dragon Con's completely not. It's not even part of the equation anymore. The crowd will literally move you. You have no control over where you are going. But Gen Con was still great. It was big, but it can accommodate that. But it's. I've told this I think many times on my channel. Gen Con is great, but it's not nuanced enough. You have to actively go and find your people, and they're a speck in a huge just sea of other stuff, and people do not care about what you're about. It's, you know what I mean? It's like you're just looking for your stuff. But I got to meet some great people of the industry and get a lot of cool autographs, and just it was impressive, you know. And I got to meet like James Raggi from Limitation of the Flame Princess. I got to even meet Zach Sabbath, which of course is a huge controversial figure, but it was just amazing to be able to see these people and talk to them. I got to go to the Ennies, which was awesome. Even though it was a little, I don't know, it's weird. You go to the Ennies, it's a lot of kind of showboating, hobnobbing with people. They're sitting up front, but it was still really cool to see people get their awards. And what's it called? Banes of the Earth had just come out and won a bunch of rewards for Limitation of the Flame Princess. I don't know if you know about that book, but it's absolutely phenomenal. It's all about underground, dungeon crawling with a weird underground world. But it's a cool experience.
Raggy on a weird underground world.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, color me shocked.
Who would have known? Yeah. But it's something I said that, I experienced it, and I would only go back if it was something I was really trying to push a product, or it was nominated or something like that. You know what I mean? I'd be like, I'd have to be really spotlighted to it. But it's still really cool. But Gary Con was awesome. But I think I'm going to do it now. I think it's my plan was to go to North Texas, was going to be the next con I went to. But I think I'm going to go to the Long Con from what I'm hearing and meeting Matt. And now,
well,
having this.
If you're really into the old school stuff, I would still say North Texas.
North Texas, yeah.
Yeah.
Because that you got all the old school people. It's like one of the core old school cons.
Yeah, it's Merle Rasmussen runs games, Alan Hammock runs games. I mean they're both very good. I couldn't talk you out of going to either one of them, but I go to both because they're both really good, and you both, and honestly it's become like a little family. And everybody, like a lot of the guys from Texas, go to both. And I've met, I've got friends at both cons that I go to, and a lot of them just go to both. And so, I'm telling you, just if you can bite the bullet and do them both, they're both worth it.
That would be ideal for both of those. That would be great. I wish we had one here. David has talked about that. Beatty talked about, we've talked, me and him, about doing one. If we could have one here, and we do have some cons. Don't get me wrong, but they're just, I'm in South Carolina. So you can go up to you can go to Charlotte. There's some conventions, but they're not OSR type conventions. They're Pathfinder 5th edition. And then you're over there with your 3 games, of maybe some sort of OSR game.
That's the thing. I don't think that OSR cons are really a thing. There are cons that are OSR friendly.
Gotcha.
Because you're never gonna, if all you do is everything that was published before 1990, you're never gonna have a good con.
Right.
But if you have just a gaming con, but you invite a lot of people, a lot of guests that are OSR people, you invite Merle Rasmussen, you invite Alan Hammock, you invite Eric Tenkar, and all the me, invite me, please. But it's the guests that kind of make the tone and tenor of the con.
Right.
So like ShireCon, it's not an OSR con, but it's got a lot of OSR people that show up. Same thing with WizardCon, which just had its first one in Michigan this year, and it's going to be next year. And Central New York is the same way. They're not OSR cons, but they have a lot of OSR people. And I think that's the key. North Texas is the same way. They play plenty of 5e and Pathfinder and everything else. But they have a lot of OSR folks who show up. And that makes them OSR cons.
You're right on the money with that. So, yeah, that's kind of the focus. That's why, obviously like Gary Con and stuff, which, I mean, that's definitely going to have those people too. And
Gary Con, Con is its own thing because, Luke's got a lot of ties to WotC for obvious reasons, and they've got the whatever their organized play thing is called now.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I forget.
Yeah.
But they're so they got a lot of 5e stuff, but because of its nature, everybody from the old TSR days shows up there.
Yeah.
So it's a question of feel more than just declaring this is an OS Archon.
Right. No doubt. And I heard you say that about Tenkar. And this kind of jumping subject here, but just because you brought Eric up, I think it's interesting what you.
Did I screw up?
No, you did good. What they're doing with like Joe the Lawyer, with them like kind of piggybacking ideas, like
the three of us do that.
Yeah, the topics y'all are doing, like how y'all all are doing videos on the same topic. I think that's a strong YouTube. We're talking about YouTube here. Like that's a strong YouTube idea. So when I saw that was going on, I guess collaborating, I was like, wow, that's
the collaboration thing is a new thing that YouTube does, and I got to say, it's really working. Yeah, I almost doubled my views this month.
That's great, man. Yeah, that's really great.
It's really cool, and we're sharing our audiences and we're sharing our opinions, and we don't agree. On things, like the mega dungeon thing, or sci-fi and fantasy.
What side were you on that mega dungeon thing?
Oh, I wonder. I can't imagine which side of
who's against them, Joe.
Yeah, Joe does not like mega dungeons.
What I didn't watch, but what is his beef?
He just doesn't. To be honest, I don't know. He just doesn't like it, and. Fine, okay. I'm sure he could articulate it if he was here.
Yeah, I'll watch those. I'll watch the videos and see.
Yeah, watch it. But I'm sure he makes some. I've seen the video, but it doesn't seem to have a lot of substance to me, because I'm a big, for obvious reasons. I like Mega Dungeons. I wrote Castle Man Archmage. Of course, I like Mega Dungeons. So but I think he likes smaller chunks of smaller dungeons that you can just do in a night, as opposed to something that it's always there. He thinks that mega dungeons are a slog, and I disagree with that, because I think that depends on the DM.
Right.
Any DM can turn any dungeon into a slog. If you have a good DM, any dungeon will sparkle.
Right. And I do think that some players gravitate more towards, especially if you look at like things like Stonehill or Barrow Maze, like the preparation.
Or what's the other one you didn't mention? I'm sorry.
No, you let them know, because that's the thing. They may not know exactly what it is you're talking about. So tell them about your mega dungeon.
Castle Man Archmage. It's my homage to Castle Greyhawk.
Okay,
that's all
it's
on Drivethrurpg.
Okay, and of course I'll send links so people go check it out. I think it does take a certain type of player to enjoy that kind of minutia of getting ready for it. Like we got to have enough of this or that, and that's what I liked about Barrow Maze, is that we kind of really went in there knowing, hey, who's got this, and you've got rope, and I've got this, and we're going to go. And then we kind of conquered it. We conquered parts of it,
Right. Because it's not just about hit points and everything else. It's about other resources. It's a resource management thing. And in a sense, a mega dungeon ultimately turns into a press your luck game.
Right.
Like, should we do this next door, or should we just leave the dungeon? Because if you do the next door... Go ahead.
One more room. No, you're absolutely right. I'm laughing because I got killed in Greg's, because I wanted to do one more room, and I was like, and the one more room is the one that does you in, or you just get so drained that you can't make it out because the random encounters will finish you off. Yeah. You know who hates mega dungeons?
Who?
It's your buddy. David hates them.
Why?
He wants short, and he has no attention span. He's like a little cat with a ball. He doesn't like long. And like, I've written some long stuff, and like here, and he's like, well, you can't play this in one session. I'm like, you're not
true.
Yes. And he's like, it's just diarrhea. He goes, and I just start laughing. I'm like, you're supposed to enjoy it weekly, but he doesn't. Apparently he has no attention span.
The way I pitch it, because I vend at cons all the time. The way I pitch it is, it's a tent pole dungeon. It's not the thing that you have to do every week, right? It's not, because if you do it every week, it could really turn into a slog. But it's always there as an option, right? It's like, okay, we're going to play these, we're going to do these adventures, and we finish the story, and now what do we do? Oh, let's tool around on level 4 of Castle Mount Archmage for a couple of days. Or alternatively, 2 people can't show up this week. well, okay, the rest of us can just go here, and it's not going to screw up the stuff that we're doing in the main story. It's a tent pole. It's always there as an option. It doesn't have to be the primary focus that you do every night.
Right.
You're preaching to the choir. I like when I have two settings that are expanding. I'm fairly new at writing, and I enjoy that. And Mr. Captain Woo Woo over the fire department over there, he's like, it's too big. It just needs to be completed in 4 hours. I'm like, oh, give me a break. You're killing me. And no, it's just, it's preference. If that's what you like. I mean,
Yeah.
I grew up like looking forward to playing, and I enjoy like, building up characters and watching them kind of turn into the. I'm not a huge backstory person when I build out a character, but I like, as you kind of wander with a character and he gains level, it kind of becomes its own thing, and you're like, okay, how are they going to develop, and it kind of leads you where it's going to be. And it's part of the fun for me. I've always enjoyed that. So I like mega dungeons, and I don't. When people say they don't like settings and they don't like all that stuff, I'm like, why? And if you,
what?
Yeah, I'm like, you don't like a setting? I'm like, what's wrong with the setting?
I want my character to exist in a vacuum.
Yeah.
But no, that's your buddy there. Like, ask her about it. I just laugh. I'm like, he starts talking, and he's like, and he just wants short and precise. And his 900-page book is, apparently a great example of that. I'm just like, what the hell? But
it almost sounds like they should be playing Frostgrave.
Yeah, just like
D&D.
Well, he absolutely loves. He's got a weird closet infatuation with Morkborg because it's just simple. And I'm just like, then write Morkborg. And but I just it's just one of those deals. I've heard people like this. I'm like, because the Withmail, the setting is going to have a mega dungeon crawl in it, and because I think they're cool. And if you don't want to play it, that's fine. I mean, I get it, but you're gonna like, who doesn't want to go down into the dungeon to chase the wizard? I mean, you grew up as a kid. That's what you wanted to do. Is like you wanted to go. There's an uber wizard down there. He's nth level, and you want to kill him. It's going to take you a while to earn your experience to be able to go do that. But I mean, that was the whole fun as a kid. So I think I don't share that opinion, but I've heard of people like that. I don't. I mean, it's
people are allowed to be wrong.
Yeah,
it's just like the same people. Like, I laugh when people are like, "Oh, I want to play." So I'm gonna admit that some of the 5e stuff, I just have no interest in. It's like if you're going to talk about baking and making friends and all this stuff, I'm like, I'm not interested. Well, the reason I do that is because the new book had the two dwarves and they got matching tattoos and they were.
You're talking about, yes,
yeah, and I thought it was pretty funny. Honestly, I don't get mad at stuff. I just laugh. But I asked my son to read it, and he's just like, yeah. I was like, all right. But then in North Texas, they have an off the books game, or on the books, but it's very late, and all the characters, and it's a 4-hour game. They are retirees at a 55 and over community. And so you have to develop your character and play. And I thought, originally I thought, that's kind of weird. That's a role-playing game. But then I got to know some of the people that are in this game, and it is freaking fabulous. If you want to role play and you want to play characters and you want to, act out your grognard, grumpy old man thing, it is hysterical. I stopped in and watched them play in Long Con, and I was rolling laughing. They had such a good time. It's not your typical RPG. There's no swords and sorceries. It literally, everybody develops their persona of an old person in a retirement community. And I thought, that's kind of silly, but it's silly fun. And so that's the great thing about role-playing games. You don't have to like that, but if you do like it and that's your thing and you want to run it, and you 6 or 7 or 8 friends get together and you have a blast doing it, hey, good for you. It does not bother me at all. If you want to play 2 gay dwarves that bake, it doesn't bother me. I've never, you don't have to think. I like mega dungeons. I love dungeon crawls. I love that kind of stuff. I love the threat of being killed and the possibility. I don't want 65 saving throws that I can make to save myself. I want to be dead.
I want to be dead.
Well,
Please kill me.
Like some of the new games, it's like you can't die anymore, and that takes the fun out of it. If it's like if there's no threat of danger,
it takes the stakes out of it.
Right.
Yeah.
There's no stake. If you can't fail, there's literally no reason to play. Like if I played chess and every time I played white, I would automatically win.
Yeah.
Why the hell would I play?
Yeah. It's all about the challenge. So it's interesting that you bring that up. So there's several things. I talked about this the other day. I said we were talking about just man needs difficulty to overcome that difficulty for the reward. Yes. And if you could fish and you could just take your rod, take your line and just put it into the water with just a hook, and a fish came up, people would not fish anymore. It's all about the chase. That's why games like Dark Souls and stuff like that are so good and so strong, is because they're challenging games. You have to continue at them. You get small benefits that help you, and you continue. And the payout, it's the payout. Yes, it's challenging. Yes, you'll get angry, but that's why those games are so beloved. Other than everything else that's so great about them, is the fact that it's that reward. It's that challenge and reward. And when you remove that, man will just be like, you're full. You're just full. You don't need it anymore. There's no real challenge. It's easy. It's low hanging fruit, and we want that. And I think that's across the spectrum. I know we've talked about this, Joe, too, about just stuff in general, about entertainment media and stuff. It's like we want stuff to be challenging, and because the reward's greater when it is. I mean,
well, think about Avengers Endgame.
Right?
They lost, and that made the movie so great.
It did.
It the fact that there was a legitimate challenge, there were real stakes there. People died, and they and the heroes, couldn't stop the villain. That gave it real stakes.
Yep. Empire Strikes Back.
Yeah. Han Solo's in carbonite at the end of the freaking movie, and Han and Luke has one hand. And the rebellion is on the brink, because you without a credible villain, without the good chance of failure, there's no tension, there's no narrative, there's no.
No, I love it. It's funny because we talk. I've been involved, obviously, Boy Scouts of America, Scouts of America for a long time, and then coaching sports. And I'll get kids that play video games on sports and they just love them. And then they got to play real games and like, this is too hard. And I'm like, yeah, that's the whole point, is it's hard. And when you get really good at it, it's really rewarding. And if you get really, really good at it, you make a lot of money. But, most of us just enjoy just to play. But I think we've gotten to a point in society where people cannot stand to fail. They need to have the safeties on. So they need to be able to hit the restart button. And they need to be able to have 52 saving throws before they die. And and if that's your enjoyable way to play, I saw somebody the other day and I was laughing. They were like, the dice didn't have any marks on them. And you call what you roll or something. I was just like, well, what? So but I mean, again,
I hope you're joking. Please.
I wish I was.
Sleeping tonight. Tell me you're joking.
No, I'll send it to you. It's just, to me, that wouldn't be a fun game to play if you get around a table and you're with a group of friends. It's not a game. No, it's role playing, I guess, and you're playing out, whatever your fantasy. You're not hurting anybody, so I don't really care. But yeah, that would not interest me for more than 3 seconds. I'd be like, okay, I'm out. When I typically go play a game, I want to have a serious threat of my character dying. Right. I think that's the enjoyable part of it for me. I don't preach
overcoming the risk of failure. Without the risk of failure and you overcoming that risk, there is no sense of victory. That's it in a nutshell.
Yeah. But it's just, I know, and I'm not saying these people are right, but I've seen it with baseball players. I've seen it with soccer players. I've seen it with, pro sports. We got pro sports athletes now that quit because they can't, they don't want to be mocked by the media. The pressure is there, and I'm like, I just, it's a different generation. I know. I mean, I didn't make it as a baseball player. I didn't make it as a soccer player, but I had a lot of great times playing, and I enjoyed playing. And you know why? Because I could strike out and fail, or I could miss the penalty kick, or when I'm playing Dungeons and Dragons, I could die, and that's what makes it fun for me. But I know that I talk to a lot of kids, and they're like, "That's not fun," and I'm like, well, "Yeah, because you know what? You get to roll another character, and you get to create something new." And I just laugh because it's like certain people.
I would love to see them playing Dungeon Crawl Classics.
Yeah. Well,
you literally start with 4 characters, 3 of whom are going to die,
and they get murdered. Yeah. No. So I have slowly brought them around to some stuff, but some people just, well, think about it. So I went to RenCon, which is Texas. Wow, no, it's in Tucson, Arizona. A very well run con in a casino in Tucson, Arizona, which is about 2 hours away from me. Very well. It's a lot of board games, but it also has some RPGs. But they subscribe to the new rule where there's the X rule.
God, no!
And I'm just like, so I get there and I'm running Massacre Grounds, and I'm like, oh, so it's a 0 level funnel for Weird Frontiers, and I'm like, if somebody hits the X, like, what am I supposed to do? They're like, well, you're supposed to skip and go to something else, but don't make them feel. There's a lot of rules there, so I'm like, I don't know what I'm supposed to. Like, I was really kind of overwhelmed with it. Thank goodness it didn't happen, because I kind of was like, I don't like, if you hit X when the main guy is attacking, like, what am I supposed to do? Like, just skip? Like, you're supposed to just skip it and go on. And I just said that's something.
Screw
and
that.
That's
a con I would never go to. If they're enforcing that on every game at the con,
yeah,
Brandon, is it okay? Can I demonetize you?
Please don't.
Okay.
It took me so long. It took me so long to get there.
All right, then I won't say.
No, go ahead. I mean, it matters. I mean, I don't think you're saying anything too terrible.
No, for me, honestly, I went and asked them about it, and they said nobody will hit it. And I said, okay. And I had a problem with it, but I was there. I was asked by a friend to run a game, and I was like, you know what, I'm just going to run the game and see what happens. But I was very much like, and so I had a quick, because I always discuss with my players, hey, is there anything out of bounds? Before
I never do. Everything's in bounds. Boom.
Everything's in bounds.
I don't care.
I just like, I just feel like, is anything out of bounds as far as this is what we're going to be playing, and I want to know up front. And then usually it's a great way to get to know people. And I've never had anybody say, okay, and my stuff's all, pretty PG-13. But yeah, I guess it's just the way of the world. But I kind of laughed because I was like, if you hit the X, like, what am I supposed to do? Like this, you kind of, yeah. So, I mean, it's just.
No, screw that. I'm not playing that. You're in my game. You're going to. I mean, most of my games are, like you say, there's PG-13. They're nothing untoward. But if somebody comes along and says, "Oh, I'm afraid of spiders," you can't have any spiders in this game.
Right.
The hell with that. I'm running Vault of the Drow. You're gonna freaking find spiders. No. Player agency does not include being able to change the world in which you live. Player agency is you're making informed decisions. And that's where player agency stops.
Yeah. I tend to agree with you on it. I didn't end up going this year. It wasn't because I had a bad time.
You pushed a button.
No, and I understand. I mean, I pushed it intentionally because it's like, when we get to some of this stuff, it's like obviously I've written a few DCC things now, and I do like Shadow Dark. I do enjoy Pathfinder if I want something really crunchy, but I like the OSR stuff. There's Bert. He's coming in.
Bert!
What's up?
Hi, ho, Bert.
Hey,
How are you,
can't-
buddy?
Oh, we can't
Can you
hear
hear
him.
us?
No. All right.
Yeah. We do this quite a bit when he calls me. I'm like, huh? Okay.
Just real quick back to about the mega dungeon thing. What I want to say about that is, for me, it's like they're the Mount Everest of role playing games. They are, because it's there. I conquer it. You know what I mean? That's why I want to do it. It's like, this is going to be difficult. I want challenge. I want to know that I went through that mega dungeon. You know, it's just like it's like a really rough roller coaster where you look at it and you're like, oh, that thing looks tough. You know, that might really do me in. I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna go for it. You know, and
for me, the key is the definition of a mega dungeon is you can't conquer it.
Right.
It will you will never clear it out because it's constantly not only restocking, but it is growing.
Right.
Right.
I said this in my video yesterday about mega dungeons.
Did you ever look at Stonehill?
Stonehell? Yeah.
I think Stonehill's incredible. Like, when I ran it for a while, I don't know. I can't remember what that was. Yeah, there you are.
Yeah, hey, we got you, Bert.
Hey, what's up? I ran it for a while, and I thought it was very smart. I enjoyed it a lot. The kind of 4 blocks of it, like the kind of quadrants, made it a little bit gamey. You know, they knew kind of where they were, but
they're using the concept of the geomorphs.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so I get that it calls back to old schools here. You're gonna I bought the Dungeon Geomorphs in 1970 whatever. So yeah, I'm all in favor of that.
I love geomorphs. That's great. I got cards. I got dice that are geomorph dice. I love those.
I got the dice too. Yes.
Yeah, those dice I think are really cool. Bert, I don't know if you've been watching. We're talking about mega dungeons here and the con scene when it comes to kind of modern control of the game. I would say. So what
I caught you talking about, I assume, the X card. Is that what Joe, you were?
Yes.
What are your views on mega dungeons?
The knee to the X card.
I saw Joe coming. I pulled that grenade and went.
I like them. Mega dungeons, like if you've got a group that meets fairly regularly, that's the big thing with mega dungeons.
Yeah.
I think there are several that were well done. There are several that were done poorly.
Mm-hmm.
Like, a good mega dungeon gives you staging grounds where you can either barricade a room or there's a safe spot where you can heal up and do what you need to do. The mega dungeons that incorporate that do a really good job. You ever see the world's largest dungeon? I think it was actually what it was called.
I've seen it.
That one?
And it was deliberately done just because they wanted to have every monster from the monster manual in the dungeon.
Oh wow. I didn't know that.
Yeah, that was the impetus for it, as far as I'm aware.
And then I think there was one for Labyrinth Lord that was really good.
Stonehill.
Yeah.
Well, and Barrow Maze is for Labyrinth Lord.
Barrow Maze, yeah.
I've
had a lot of fun with them.
Yeah, I found out that Matt here says that Beatty doesn't like him, which I could understand that with David. It's too much of the same thing. You know what I mean? For I think for David, he wants to have a lot of action, but he wants it to change. You know what I mean?
If you treat it like a slog where you're literally going from room to room and just handling the encounter, I could definitely see that. But that's really not how I think they were intended to be played.
That's a DM problem.
Yeah.
Right.
And that's what Joe was saying earlier, that it was a DM problem.
Mm-hmm.
So, and that's the thing too. That's what thing is so interesting about this hobby, is that this isn't a video game. Like, video games are like, okay, did you go over here and get this? Okay, I did. Okay, I went over here and I used it against this ball. Okay, you beat it. Like, there are set paths that you can take, but with this hobby, more so than anything else, there's so many variables. People are like, I don't like that game. Well, how come? Well, the DM was terrible. They ran it terribly. And I'm like, well, that's a real shame, because that's a great game.
Well, let's be honest, though, that you can take a turd of a game, and if you got a great GM, you're still going to have fun.
Yeah.
I mean, It really comes down to that.
It does. It's the storyteller. I mean, it's like indie movie. Look at great plots, and you're like, this movie sucks. And it's like, this is a great plot, but they blew this, and that's the director is the GM.
Yeah.
And they didn't do right, or whatever, whatever came to be, or the,
I feel that way about the most recent Conan film with Momoa. It's like, man, you could not ask for a better Conan, but my goodness, that was a crapper of a script.
My God, guys, you're killing me here. You're making my head explode.
Mm.
I dig mega dungeons, and Joe's got one, Castle of the Mad Archmage.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
322 pages. How long did it take you to work on that?
It was originally I did it on my blog as a monthly installment thing.
That's helpful.
And then I rejiggered it, and it's been many hours of work have gone into that.
I bet.
So when you did yours, because I haven't read it, so I'm just asking, because I definitely enjoy this when looking at a mega dungeon. Does it make sense? Like, you essentially have civilizations living underground, so they're going to have political structures. They're going to have strife between them. Like, there's an overall story going on other than just Beast A is in room D, get its stuff. You know,
It's a mix. It's a mix
Yeah.
because it is absolutely a funhouse dungeon.
Mhm.
This is there is an insane demigod who's behind everything. You just buy into that and ride the wave. But there are level. It depends on the level that you're on or the area, right? So, like, one of the levels is a gladiatorial arena. So you've got the arena in one place. You've got the different teams who have barracks and different things, and even on the periphery of that, you've got little like side monsters and everything. There are other levels that have like hobgoblins are over here and orcs are over here, but other levels are much more Wild West random. It's going to depend. You actually have an enormous variety of stuff that's going on. So ultimately, yes, there are environs within the mega dungeon. It's 14 levels, so it's vast. There are environs, and they do make an internal sense. There is an internal logic at work there, but there are places by design that are just random. Why the hell is this here? Because of the backstory of the insane demigod.
The Lost City classic module, for instance, while not a mega dungeon by any stretch, it still was pretty deep as far as those early modules went. I thought did a great job. You had vying factions, you had an overriding reason why they were down there. The ecology made sense. Like, I thought that was a good one.
I really liked the Goodman Games expansion of it for 5e.
Mhm.
They did a great job on that.
Yeah. Well, the original one had a lot of which was how these modules were written originally. They painted in broad strokes.
Right.
Where they would have the GM fill in areas. They literally just left them empty and would say, "Use this chart. This is," and they would let you paint in those areas, which,
And that's
I
something
like.
that's
Yeah.
really anathema to modern gaming.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, there's reasons behind that, though. I think the biggest one is time. I mean, most GMs don't have the time to sit around and just, map everything out. It might be fun, you might want to, but there's just a distinct lack of time to do these sort of things anymore.
Do we really have does a 17-year-old really have less time today than they did in 1980?
I challenge you that 17-year-olds aren't the largest audience for RPGs anymore.
Fair. Okay, I'll give you that one.
Yeah.
I would say
That
they have
is
the same
very
amount
true.
of time.
Yeah.
They just have
It's
way
people
more things.
our age that are the vast majority of people buying and running games. And we don't.
Well,
I mean,
no,
I don't know about you, but I'm
I think we're-
retired and I still don't have that kind of time.
I think we're an older demographic compared to the normal
Yeah.
5e demographic. But I'll grant you that they're not high school kids anymore. But I don't think they're 50-something people. Either.
Fair. They're in between, sure. But I also think that they don't have the disposable time that was given then. I mean, I talked to like
that disposable time.
late 20s and early 40-year-olds now are working 50 and 60 hours a week just to make bills, man. So,
I mean, I remember spending all summer watching MTV and painting miniatures.
Mhm.
It's can't do that anymore.
Yeah.
Although I think we're reaching a plateau because because of our ages, a lot of us are aging into retirement. And isn't that going to give us the time that we had back in high school.
Dude, this is my money-making idea I've had for years now, is making an old folks home
Yes,
based around
okay, I know.
gaming, heavy metal music blaring through the speaker systems, nurses coming by with your pill cups and your dice cups.
I know. I knew exactly what. As soon as you said that, yes, I take my money. I shall invest in your idea.
He's like, yeah, come and change my diaper. I got to roll this D20. I can't do it myself. Somebody, I need a diaper check.
Where's my dragon? I recharge my dragon bone 2.0.
Yeah, there you go.
That's great. That's great. Yeah, I can see that for sure. This has been cool, man. I've had a lot of fun with this one once again. I didn't do one a week ago or 2 weeks ago because people were at the Long Con. I asked David Beatty. I said, "Hey, you think I should do one?" He was like, "Nah, don't do one." I was like, "Okay." He's like, "Most of your people are going to be at the Long Con," or I was like, "All right, I'll take a break." And then my wife went on a cruise, and I was like, "I'm not going to do anything."
Bored, Brandon. Just say it. You were
wife went on a
bored.
cruise?
Yeah, she went on a cruise with her sister. So I was like, "Hey, something completely different out of the." They got a wild hair, and they said, "You know what? We're going to go do a cruise." And we've done one before in the past, years ago when my kids were young, a Disney cruise. And so they wanted to check out how it was now and do a carnival cruise. And so they went together and
Oh
had
God,
a little,
Carnival.
little
That's
film.
the one where there are like fights in the
Yeah.
She said it was great.
And they become plague ships and everybody can't get off because they've got some kind of mysterious illness going on.
Or there's videos on YouTube of people in the dining room just like hurling
fighting over chicken nuggets and stuff. Yeah. But no, she had a great time, and there was a lot of 80s stuff there. They had 80s night, and there was trivia 80s, one-hit wonder night, like of trivia. And so like I'm all about that. So I can't, I'm looking forward to we're actually going to go on one next year with the whole family. So she kind of did like a trial run with her sister, and
we've done Norwegian. We had a lot of fun on Norwegian.
Okay, great. Yeah, that's
there's another idea, man. A gaming cruise would be awesome.
That would be great.
They have them.
They do. They do have that, right?
Yeah.
I mean, they've got rock and roll cruises, like 80s hairband
cruises. It's our cruise.
Those are fun.
Oh,
I'm a bass player. I went on one of those because they were also doing lessons from some folks that I really wanted to. Yeah, that was fun.
You left the chickens and went on a cruise?
Oh, this is well before the chickens. This is well before the wife. So.
But that's cool. I'm glad to do this again. This has been fun, and it's a thing where it's like, oh, I hadn't done it in a while. Let's see who can make it, and then we have fun again. So it's like, I just got to keep doing these. And
well, Friday's movie night, so I come in and I see you on. It's like, yeah, I'll come in at the end. Okay.
Yeah. We actually watched a movie. We watched a movie like I watched Carrie, like I said, and I had to bail out right at the end of it. But
we watched Operation Mincemeat.
Oh yeah, how was that?
It was really good. It's a World War II thing about them faking the body with the false papers to distract the Germans from the invasion of Sicily. It's really cool.
That's great.
All right, so I got to share then movies. So I work part-time at an antique shop, mostly just because I need to be out and not stuck in my home all the time. So and we've got a guy that does old media, and he gets a lot of VHS. So he gave me a couple of VHS to check out over Thanksgiving weekend because I got nothing else going on.
Okay.
Some really probably bad B movie. So Barbarian Queen 1 and 2.
I own that.
That's Barbarian Queen 2, no less.
I've got those.
Sword and Sorcerer.
Yeah.
The Sword and Sorcerer is amazing.
And I got a T-shirt. I got a Sword and Sorcerer T-shirt.
Mm-hmm.
I will throw fists about Sword and Sorcerer being bad.
Oh, I don't know if they're good or bad or not. I haven't seen them yet.
Sword and Sorcerer, amazing. It's in the same realm as Hawk the Slayer.
Got Hawk the Slayer 2 on VHS. As a matter of fact,
I could do a whole night of us talking about Sword and Sorcery 80s movies. I don't know if y'all know, but I've got three videos, Joe. If you haven't looked back at my long, extensive 500 videos on RPG overviews, I did 3 videos on obscure sword and sorcery movies, and a lot of people really liked them a lot. And so I haven't talked about those to me are not as obscure as some of the ones I've talked about. I'm talking about some like the Italian ones, Throne of Fire, some of the ones that like it's got like God, I'm trying to remember the name, like Ator. Like some people know Ator, but like
the Fighting Eagle.
Have you ever seen The Devil's Sword out of Indonesia?
No. Oh no! I saw a review of it though.
Okay. I
And it
talk about
looked
that
really
in one of
cool.
my videos. The Devil's Sword is actually an awesome film. And its claim to fame, in my opinion, and I actually did a little video and show it. To me, it has the best like solo guy going into a cave, looking for a magical sword with traps and a monster, which is a guy in a rubber suit. It is one of the most D&D things I've ever witnessed in Devil's Sword. So I highly recommend it. It's got awesome kung fu action, but also fantasy as well. But no, I could talk about sword and sorcery movies, especially from the 80s, like the ones that Bert just showed right there. Absolutely love them. And I say this too, I wish that they had given Roger Corman millions and millions of dollars. If I had like, I say this in the video, if I had a time machine, well, I'm obviously rich because I've got a time machine. I would go back in time and give him like $100 million. There you go, Roger. Go to town.
If you gave Roger Corman $100 million, he would have spent $10 million.
Yeah, probably so. He'd pocket all the rest. And he'd still go in there and rip up the script and be like, nope. I love Sorceress. Sorceress is one of my favorite movies. Well, I'm going to tell you this. The reason is it's got demi-humans. It's got like a satyr, right? And it's got a guy that's kind of a dwarf, but he's really kind of like a Viking. But that last scene at the end, I think, is so epic. You've got a temple. You've got skeletons underneath. You've got gods fighting above. You've got a sorcerer. You've got like a cult leader with magic who's going to sacrifice somebody. That last part is just absolute awesome. I love sword
I'm
and
more
sorcery
of like
movies.
Beastmaster, Hawk the
Beastmaster's good.
Slayer, Sword the Sorcerer.
Beastmaster. Oh yeah.
Hawk the Slayer's right here. I have it like,
There you
look,
go.
I can just do this.
Yeah.
And
I could watch Hawk the Slayer back to back like all weekend. You know,
Hawk the Slayer's
Excalibur is another great.
Excalibur's great. Beastmaster, Krull, Ladyhawk.
I got a guilty confession. I've never seen Krull.
Ooh.
I think we talked about that.
I know.
Well, it's on Tubi right now. If you want to watch it.
Yeah, that's.
I want to say James Horner's script. I mean, soundtrack. I think. Yeah. Epic soundtrack from James Horner.
Yeah, Legend.
Legend is a raw movie. Legend is a raw film.
Dark Crystal.
Dark Crystal, I love.
Labyrinth.
Dude, there's so many. It's so great. Krull is one of my all-time favorites.
I gotta sit. Maybe I'll do this weekend. I'll just sit down and watch Krull. Because I never have, and I know I have to.
It's amazing. You should watch
it. It is. I love it.
It's never going to get.
The Cyclops in Krull is the same guy who played the giant in Hawk the Slayer.
Oh, is it? I didn't know that. That would make sense. That would make sense, right?
Yep.
I love Hawk the Slayer, and I wish there would be an actual like American Blu-ray that was released. I don't know why there's not, but yeah, you can find it pretty much everywhere. I was looking at Tubi, which of course Tubi is the best streaming site of all time. I mean, I think we've talked about that.
It's awesome.
I looked at it just tonight because we were watching Carrie on it, and I was like, oh my god, they got this. Oh, they got that. I love Fire and Ice. I love
Fire and Ice. There's a miniatures game of Fire and Ice coming.
Oh wow, that's great.
Kickstarter last year, and I'm still waiting for it.
I love all Ralph Bakshi. Absolutely love Lord of the Rings Bakshi version.
Well, I've got the Lord of the Rings on my DVR.
It's fantastic.
From like 3 years ago.
Oh yeah. I love it all. I love the Wizards.
Wizards. Yes.
It's fantastic, dude.
Mom never liked you.
Yeah, it's great. It's a great flick. I love heavy metal. Absolutely love that movie. I've seen it so many times. And of course, my favorite stuff is either like the Harry Canyon, I think his name is, the kind of cyberpunk world. That's one of my favorites. And of course, the one with John Candy, anything with the Loch-Nar with like the fantasy element to it.
See, and I like the Rankin Bass Lord of the Rings stuff.
It's phenomenal.
The Hobbit, the Return of the King.
Yeah,
where there's how can you not like where there's a whip, there's a way?
Exactly. You got Glenn Yarborough doing the music.
So I saw someone's doing miniatures based on the art from that.
They've got Gollum.
Does I have his Bilbo Baggins T-shirt from the back from the Rankin Bass Hobbit.
It's great. Yeah, I've actually.
It's amazing.
But those figures you're talking about, Gil, Bert, I wanted to get that. They're $50 a piece. I was like, I love ranking it back,
wow.
but I'm not
Ooh.
paying $50 for something that sits like on a thing. You know what I mean? Like that's $100. I was like, nah, I'm cool. I'm like, I like the Hobbit a lot. So, but now there's so many great. But the thing is, I still feel like Sword and Sorcery '80s movies. They just didn't make enough of them. Like I like to have more.
Plenty.
They did,
guys
but I wanted
haven't-
more. I want more now.
So there's a Holy Grail one that I'm looking for, and the
Okay.
only way I've found it recently is it's in a set of like 6 other horror films, but it's the TV version, which is not what I want. I want the full version that wasn't edited.
Are you going to talk about Archer, Fugitive from the Empire?
Nope.
I want
It was
that too, by the way,
It
Joe.
was
I want
called
that too.
Dungeon Master,
I have that. Yeah.
and its claim to fame was it had Wasp, the band,
Yes.
playing in it, and I want that, but I want the full release version, not the TV edited version.
Oh, I got you.
Yeah, but
I got the Blu-ray of that.
Brendan, you remember the Archer, Fugitive from the Empire?
Yes, and I would like
I
to own
love
that.
that. Oh my god, I was like taking notes. Okay, these guys are wearing splinted mail, and
I would love to have that too. There's still some stuff. Again, I know we talked about this before about losing stuff when it jumps to, the media, when it goes to Blu-ray or DVD or whatever. But like, there's still some stuff where I'm like, man, I sure wish I could buy that somewhere. And we can't.
That's what kicks me about working in this antique shop. We get VHS and we get laser discs all the time. And while you said that you had that the Dungeon Master on Blu-ray, you don't. You've got the edited version because they never made the full release version on anything other than Laserdisc and VHS.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I actually went and got a bunch of these from, and I talk about that in my videos. It's a website called Revoc, and the guy, he has like Japanese and Asian burns of master burns of VHS tapes that he put on DVD, and you can buy some of these movies like Wizards of the Lost Kingdom 1 and 2. That's where I got like Sword of the Barbarian, which I love. Sword of the Barbarian. If you want to look at Italian schlock, like barbarian movies, Sword of the Barbarian is the best of those in my opinion. I say that in the video.
There's a guy like that who goes to Historicon every year, and he's got all these war movies and historical movies, but he's got like these obscure. Oh yeah, this is a Lithuanian movie about Operation Barbarossa, and it's in dubbed. He's got the thousands of these movies that stuff that you just can't find anywhere. He's got Song of the South, for the love of God. It's just like anything you want that's like historical.
Obscure.
Obscure historical stuff. He brings them all to the con, and you can buy them, afterwards on his thing.
That's great. And a lot of these kind of niche, kind of artistic 4K companies are delving into stuff. There is now a release of The Devil's Sword from TerraVision, I believe. That's a Blu-ray of it. It's only been on DVD. That's the way I've got it. And like, that's, to me, I'm just like, that's awesome that there's still some companies that are trying to grab these things here and there. I even have the one. It's the one from man, my brain's going here at the end. Toxic Crusader, that company.
Oh
yeah. The one with
Trauma.
Yeah, Trauma. Yeah. The one with the guy Malibu from American Gladiators. Like, he goes in time. He's a barbarian that goes to like modern LA, like in 1990 or something. The first part's good when it's in fantasy world, but once it gets to modern America, it sucks. But I'd have given him I love him as a barbarian. I'd love to have him as a whole bunch of barbarian movies, but I dig it. I don't know what's, like I said, I'm a big fan of Sword and Sorcery films, but watch Kroll, Joe. Let us know what you think about it once you find it.
You gotta watch Kroll.
Yeah.
And nobody mentioned Willow.
Willow's good.
Willow's good.
I'm not a big fan of Willow, honestly. It just never grabbed me. Same thing with what was the one with Rutger Hauer where he's like the
Lady Hawk.
Lady Hawk.
Yeah, Lady Hawk.
Yeah. It never really grabbed me.
When I was younger, I thought Lady Hawk was boring.
Yeah.
But I haven't seen it recently.
You have Michelle Pfeiffer, Matthew Broderick. I always loved
Matthew Broderick, I think, was the worst part of it. Because he was just Matthew Broderick. He wasn't a character. He was just playing himself.
I'm
gonna look at this.
No, I liked Lady Hawk. I liked Willow Val Kilmer. I thought killed it in that movie. They made a TV sequel, and it was
So I
mediocre.
heard.
It was
Yeah.
not good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was mediocre. They tried to. Yeah, it was. I was disappointed, and it wasn't terrible. It isn't as bad as the Lord of the Rings TV show.
Oof.
I watched
but
the first season, and I said, "No,
It was
God,
bad.
I couldn't make it
struggle to get
past.
through.
I was like 2 or 3 episodes in, and I had to
Which one are
stop.
y'all talking about?
Lord of
Lord
the
of
Rings.
No,
Lord of
Rings
the
of Power.
Rings of
Rings of
Power,
Power. Yeah.
Didn't
No,
even
no,
look at it.
don't
Yeah,
don't
don't-
waste your time.
don't do it.
Do not waste
I
your
think
time.
we've talked about this. I've got a list here, of course. Dragon Slayer, phenomenal. Beastmaster, like you talked about there, Joe. Great. I love Deathstalker. I love Deathstalker 2 as well. Deathstalker 2 is very
I
kind of
liked
funny,
the
punchy.
Dragonlance animated movie.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I really,
I loved everything except for the art.
yeah. The actual people who wrote the books don't like the movie, but I really did. I thought it was everything I wanted out of an animated movie in 2003 or wherever.
Musical score was amazing. The voice actors did an amazing job.
Yeah.
Just the art was just
The
so off.
animation was, but it was 2003. So yeah, I'm gonna give it a pass.
Yeah. We should do that one sometime. Look at any of the RPG related movies that have been out, like
Or
all the
just
stuff that
fantasy
the Dead
movies. I'd
Gentleman.
be in for that.
Oh no, like the stuff that the Dead Gentleman put out, like Demon Hunter Lake, Gamers 1, 2, 3.
Oh, yeah.
Let's see, I've got most of them.
Joe, have you ever
what's
seen
the one with
Game of
Peter
the
Dinklage, as the LARPer?
Yeah. Oh, sorry.
What's the one with Peter Dinklage as the LARPer?
Oh, that was amazing.
Lords of Badassum or something
Yes.
like that?
Yes.
Knights of-
That was
Knights of Badassum.
amazing.
That was good. I like that one.
Have you seen?
Night Riders?
Oh yeah.
Yep. Didn't Mystery Science Theater mock that one?
They did, but I don't care because I love it.
Sure. Have you ever seen Conquest? Joe?
I know the name.
Conquest is an amazing film. You must watch that one as well. That's by Lucio Fulci, from the Italian director who did Zombie 2, and like he's known for like his gore. Conquest is a wild, trippy movie with an incredible soundtrack. I talk about that in one of my videos. Like, check it out, my obscure sword and sorcery videos I do, because I spotlight like 3 movies for each video that I did. But Conquest is a wild, weird world in which everybody lives in caves. It's kind of a little bit like that barbarian movies of the Italians did. I love your Hunter from the Future, of course, even though it's not sword and sorcery, but highly recommend Conquest. And yours.
There's another one.
Yep.
Warrior Queen. The other one was Barbarian Queen.
Yep.
Yeah,
have you
the
ever?
Barbarians. You ever see that one?
Yeah.
Love it. I got that on Blu-ray.
That was one of 2 movies I've ever walked out of.
Understand.
In the theater. My friends took me to that for my birthday back when I was a teenager.
You walked out.
And after about 20 minutes, we just looked at each other like, this is
I actually
awful.
really enjoy it now. That's the thing too, is like, I don't know. Like, I get in a certain mindset with them. My expectations are low, and I'm looking, like anything. What I'm doing is I'm pulling out what I can get role playing wise from them. You see what I'm saying? And that's why I love the end of Sorcerers. That the end of Sorcerers to me is just like, it's peak D&D. Like that's incredible scene.
And for me, Hawk the Slayer is peak D&D.
Yes, no doubt. Hawk the Slayer is fantastic. And when I first saw it, I was like, I cannot believe this. This is such a D&D group. Like, this is a party of adventurers.
Right.
We've got our different classes.
Taken out of the game.
Yep. The spell, she just cast web. She just, you know what I mean? Whenever the dwarf dies and they bury him, and like,
and that music.
Yeah, I was like, this is awesome. And you got Jack Palance just absolutely chewing up the scenery. It's a great flick, and the only thing I just wish they had more monsters. All these movies, I knew that's where the budgets went, and I want to see that new Deathstalker as well. But like, I just want more monsters. Like, I'm like, that's a great movie.
I kind of like the fact that they don't have the monsters.
Oh yeah,
it just, for some reason, it just hits me that let's use the monsters sparingly.
Okay,
like Conan the Destroyer. The whole movie goes, and then you just have that one monster at the end, which looks like ass, basically.
Or Andre the Giant
looks awful.
I mean, I would rather have the Ray Harryhausen stop
wow.
motion clay than I would 3D rendered crap they do now.
Oh yeah.
I
honestly.
mean, well, yeah, that's a given. But you know,
Yeah.
if you want to go back that far, then you know, Golden Voyage of Sinbad,
Mhm.
Seventh Voyage of Sinbad,
Oh,
Sinbad
yeah.
and the Tiger. You know, those
Yep.
things are just gold.
No doubt. Great flicks, man. I love how we get on this. I was just about to end the whole thing.
Half an hour
with
ago,
a
you were
Bert
trying to
fight.
get us off.
Yeah.
You were trying to log off.
So you just gotta throw out a topic that Brandon is passionate about.
Yeah.
and squeeze another hour out of him.
Very,
Don't
very
say
passionate.
Pocket Fantasy. Don't say
Yeah.
Pocket
Not leaving until we talk about this.
Y'all want to talk about my game? That would be.
No.
Have you ever seen? I know exactly. Have you ever seen Hundra or
Which one?
Hundra?
Hundra.
Hundra. It's kind of like a female Conan movie without the sword, without the sorcery. It's got who's the guy who does? I can't think of his name. It's so late. The guy who does the spaghetti western for music, Ennio. Ennio. Come on, I know Matt. He's a western dude. Ennio, the famous.
You ride horses. You must know
Yeah,
everything.
you must know this stuff, right?
You're a cowboy. You must know an Italian
Morricone.
songwriter.
Oh, but I'm cowboy and Italian. I still don't. I'm not.
You've
But it's
got
late,
to.
and I haven't had names all night. I couldn't remember street names or people that I've talked to 100 times.
Music by Ennio Morricone. Morricone.
Huh.
Like he's the one that did like the dirty, like the spaghetti westerns. Like he's
Right. The good, the
super
bad, and the
famous.
ugly.
Yes.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, him. He did the music for that. I just think it's funny that you've got like some big, guy, music guy that's doing your low budget movie. But now check out Kroll, and I love Excalibur. I know you said that earlier. Excalibur is amazing. Would you make me king? I love that because I love talking. His voice is so funny. Would you make me king, Marlon? He's got that big deep voice.
Yeah.
But no,
It's
great
got-
stuff.
It's got Patrick Stewart. I mean, what? Come on!
Yeah.
Before he was Jean-Luc Picard.
Yep.
Yeah, that's a
No-
great
no
movie.
doubt. It is, and the music. Oh my God! Come,
well,
Father,
yeah.
let us embrace that scene there. Like at the end when they stab each other. Him and his son. It's fantastic. I don't know. I want to say also I love the Lou Ferrigno Hercules. I think it's
Oh,
fantastic.
Good.
I
that,
love
that scene where he's at
I
the
love it.
automat. He's like, it's
Oh, it's-
amazing. You can
No,
get
no,
food
that's-
by a
that's
few
Arnold
coins. And she's like, yeah,
That's
a
Arnold
few
Schwarzenegger.
coins.
Say what, Joe?
That's Arnold Schwarzenegger.
No.
Yeah.
Well, no, so
Hercules
the
in
one
New
I'm
York is
talking
Arnold
about is
Schwarzenegger.
Arnold. The one he's talking about is Lou, actually.
Lou Ferrigno.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's just
I
called
got
Hercules.
those confused.
Have you ever seen that one, Joe?
I don't think I have.
It's actually pretty. I think it's awesome. So I think it's great. I know there's one where he like I want to say he like throws a bear or something. Like he tosses a bear into the sky. I can't remember which one it is, but no,
Good
definitely check out.
Hey guys, I am going to log out of here.
Yeah, I got
I
it.
Um,
gotta go.
At this
Yeah.
point, I think we
Yeah.
I'm exhausted. We're
I'm getting the cut from my wife, and I'm going to be a good man. And
I
she
got
set the
here
dog.
late, but yeah, I think I'm out too.
all right. Well, thanks as always to everybody for joining, and I hope you all check it out again next time. And I'll have links to all the stuff that we've talked about, of course, that people's projects, Kickstarter, and things like that, and of course Joe's stuff that you can pick up. So, good night, everybody. Thank you very much.
Night,
Thanks.
Brandon. Thanks for having me.
Thanks.